Hello everyone, I am AtomiK and I am really happy to see you tonight for the Max League 6 Round 1, and tonight I am with Clark Hellscream. How are you, Clark?
I'm doing all right, man. This is gonna be the first cast that I've had since the balance patches have gone live. We've already seen some common themes with the players' lineups today, so we're gonna see probably some decks that you've already seen on ladder today. But I'm still pretty excited to see these decks played optimally because I've been having some issues playing these decks perfectly myself. So seeing Jarla, seeing Paraducks, seeing GamerRvg, and as well as seeing NoHandsGamer, I think we're gonna get some pretty good matches today.
Yeah, pretty strong level because most of the players had to go through 2 qualification stage to be here tonight, so only the best of the players are here tonight, and yeah, only well-known players, NoHandsGamer, Jarla, GamerRvg and Paraducks, as you said, great players, well-known players. So finally, it's the group stage of the Max League, so let's take a look at the first group. So the group of the first match, where Paraducks and GamerRvg are in, is also composed of Furry Hunter, Duo Chanyu, Superflex and Rami, so great players. And what is very hard is only the two best players of that group will go through the playoffs of the Max League, so they can basically only do one loss to have a chance to go through. So yeah, very important first match today to do a great start in the Max League, because if you are losing tonight, already losing at the first round won't be great for sure for the next stage. So
And if we
yeah,
and if we take a look at Group B, we've got Mexe, Waystone, NoHandsGamer, Jarla, Bunny Hopper, as well as Dmitry Kazov. Kind of like what you said, if anybody suffers a loss in the very first round, it's going to be kind of difficult in order to get that 2-0 push in order to put you ahead of your group. So there's a lot of pressure going onto these games.
yes. So without waiting anymore, we can go to the lineups. So here is GamerRvg's lineup. He's playing Druid, Rogue, Mage, and Priest, and his band is on the Druid, so no Druid tonight for him. So any thoughts first, Clark, about these decks in particular?
Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything too ridiculous here, except for I mean, Donkey has it listed as Wig Priest, so I was expecting to see more Nagas, but this is the more combo version of the deck, where you can hopefully make a bigger board than most rogues can make by turn 5, turn 6. The power of this deck obviously relying on Irradiant Elemental, getting an insane amount of mana chi all in one turn in combination with Volish. And I would argue this deck is definitely the way to beat Rogue, which makes sense why Gamer did not ban Paradux's Thief Rogue in this situation. But it does kind of struggle against mages every now and again. So I feel like in this particular instance, GamerRvg's Priest is going to be the hardest deck that he gets a win with, unless he just queues it into Rogue and everything's fine from that point on. But this deck has good matchups and bad matchups, but it's pretty oppressive on both sides, or I should say, just very I guess oppressive is the right word.
We are in last hero standing, so it is very interesting to have decks that can target other decks, and Rogue is at the moment one of the scariest deck in the game. It can do lots of high rolls, so in last hero standing for sure it's a scary deck that you can get easily 3-0 by a Rogue, by a Miracle Rogue. So having that just counter Q to the Rogue is a very good thing to have, in my opinion, near the lineup, because you can just hold it, wait for your opponent to Q his Rogue, and then you just counter Q the opponent's Rogue. So I like having that Miracle Priest in the lineup. And about the Mage,
pretty well on the ladder. Like, Miracle Priest has a lot of ways of being able to win. It's just its biggest weaknesses are freeze effects, and if you don't end up playing Boon before if you don't end up playing Boon after you buff up your Radiant Elemental, then you do subject yourself to silence. But other than that, this deck is surprisingly effective.
Yeah. So about the Mage, there is lots of Mage difference you can play. You can play Big Spell, you can play Ping without the skeletons or not. Here, GamerRvg went for a Big Spell with no skeletons inside. So basically what we got before the expansion without the... Oh, sorry. There is the Sanctum with the skeletons, but there is not the whole package with Calcusad, for example. Do you
If
like
anything,
the?
he's just using the Night Cloak Sanctum as as a freeze effect more than a skeleton generation card. But I actually have been wondering what the perfect version of Mage is in terms of do we play Skeleton Mage, do we play Ping Mage, or I'm sorry, do we play Scam Mage? And then when we figure out which of those archetypes is the best, is XL or just regular 30 card the way to go? And something that I particularly like about Big Spell Mage over Skeleton Mage is the fact that you have Deepwater Evoker to give yourself ridiculous amounts of armor. So there are some games where if you're playing XL Big Spell Mage, you're just literally starting some games with like 60 life because of how good Evoker can be in some situations. So finding your scam is not as hard when you have the stall capabilities that Mage already has, plus the HP advantage that you can easily get.
Yeah, understandable. So, okay, we can move with the Paraducks lineup. So, here is his lineup. He's playing also Rogue, Mage, Priest, and Druid, but here different ban from GamerRvg because he banned Paradox, Quest, Priest.
I feel like that's just a meta move, making sure that the priest main doesn't have their priest deck. But it also goes pretty well into his lineup, so it kind of makes sense why he would want to get rid of it. But I mean, Paradox not having priest, it's a good meta call.
And yeah, we were talking about the different mage that the players can bring, and here Paradox went for the classic skeleton, so not the classic, but the skeleton mage with a Calcusad inside and all the package with the cold case, also lots of skeleton summon effects. So it will be very interesting to see which of the mage will perform better tonight.
Something that's kind of interesting about Paradox's Spooky Mage list is that this is like the most greedy that you can make this list. There's players that are starting to put mass polymorph in the deck just to get ridiculous value out of Magister Dawngrasp, but they're I think that combo is a little bit interesting, but because like you can also use Grace Age Parrot in order to remove multiple big boards, which was something that Mage was kind of struggling with in this meta. But there's also the inclusion of the Demolition Renovator, which is a card I literally have not seen run in any decks whatsoever. But what I imagine the thought process is that if you're going to be banning something that's not Mage, then you can easily use this card in the mirror to get yourself a massive advantage in the Spooky Mage mirror. And maybe against Rogue, you can stop them from making a big Sinstone graveyard target. But I mostly imagine that this is going to be for the Mage match in particular. And even though GamerRvg is not playing Spooky Mage himself, he still does have the location card, so it's not going to be completely a dead card in this series.
Yeah. I also think it has something to do against Rogue because both of the players decided to let Rogue open, so you have to find things to be sure you won't get reverse totally swept by the Rogue. So I like having that Demolition Renovator inside. And also in his Rogue, I found very interesting to have the Silverleaf Poison that got buffed in the last patch. We didn't see, on my side, I didn't see that Poison played, so maybe I'm just not playing the game enough. Have you seen that Poison played?
I actually didn't even know that Poison got buffed. I guess I was there was just so many cards that were buffed. I guess I didn't process everything, and I guess Silverleaf Poison kind of missed my radar. But now that I'm looking at the card being 1 mana in this deck in particular, I mean, there are some instances to where you just literally don't have the right hand and you have to like Hero Power pass, and worst case you can at least get yourself some card draw in that situation. But then there's the other take that you have where after you play Draka, or just as a way of like after you pop off with like Edwin, or after you pop off with Draka, you can give yourself a little bit more refill in order to give yourself that last little bit of damage that you need, which sometimes rogues have a problem with. The 30th card in this deck has been kind of up for discussion for a bit. I've even seen Reconnaissance in this deck, thanks to Molestar's success with Miracle Rogue recently. So I just feel like a lot of people are just picking cards and testing them out. But I think Silverleaf Poison does make sense because you can play it for 0. It's very easy to stack it onto a weapon. And card draw is always something that Rogue needs.
Yeah, 1 mana, draw 2. It seems a fair choice to have in the deck. It can also be played on the Necrolord Draka, where you have 3 draws, but when you are playing Draka, you want to finish the game, so I don't think that card draw will be useful when you play him. We didn't talk that much about the Druid on the Gamer lineup because it got banned, but here the Druid will be played, so it's the not alignment Druid because alignment got nerfed. So we are seeing new cards, for example, Naga Giant can be played. There are also the Flipper Friends for the early game, so it should be interesting to see if Druid is performing as well as before the nerfs.
It's kind of funny because you said quote unquote new cards, and the only new card that I really see in this deck is Planted Evidence. It's just really funny how Druid has gone from having to play 100% proactively to actually having like some time to summon a board because it could be good in the Druid matchup. The only thing that really makes Druid hard what makes Druid really difficult to have success with is because of the insatiable devours that are all over ladder now, especially in the Druid mirror. You don't want to pop off this card too soon because then it just becomes a battle of who plays the last devourer. But now that we have access to giants, we don't just have to go all in on this, insatiable devour turn. Now we might be able to build up a board to play a little bit defensively, and then we really get that devourer value when it makes the most amount of impact. But Druid is very powerful right now. It's just a matter of what you're trying to counter, and I think that does dictate how your list gets built. Kind of for the same reason that we're seeing Ibis in this build. If we can really just corner the greedier decks, we might be able to get value out of some of our card choices here. But Druid has gone in a very weird direction since the balance patch, in my opinion.
Yeah. As you said, there is a comeback of Ivers, some cards we didn't see for a long time that were powerful months before, but because of alignment, we are not seeing them anymore. But okay, they are back. Also for Druid on HS replay, the best performing classes is Beast Aggro Token Druid. Sorry, not Beast, but Aggro Token Druid, both at top 1k Legend. Do you think it's only an HS replay bait, or Aggro Druid might be something?
Yeah, and if we look at all the lineups today, every single player that's playing on stream today brought Rogue, Mage, and Druid, and 3 of them brought Priest. 1 of them brought Warlock as their final class. So at least in terms of what these players think are the best classes to bring to Last Hero Standing, that makes the most amount of sense. That it's Priest, Druid, and Rogue, and I think those are the most popular decks we're seeing on ladder as well. But I've just really been seeing those 3 decks the most since these balance patches went live. In all honesty, maybe sprinkle in some Priests in there, but that's about it.
All right. So okay, we are still waiting for GamerRvg to connect. So, but don't worry, it should start soon
Yeah,
enough.
they're playing on the America server, right? Or are they playing on EU?
On EU.
Okay. Because I see that Paradox is currently playing some Battlegrounds as he's waiting.
Yeah. So alright, we will just wait for him. So
Looking ahead to the lists here, I'm really just interested with Paradox's Spooky Mage. Like, this is the most greedy that I think I've ever seen the deck made out to be. Like, we're running Renathal, so we've got 40 cards. We've got the Demolition Renovator to stop the locations like we brought up earlier. For some reason, Solid Alibi has just made, like, a massive comeback in this deck, where before the patch, nobody was really praising this card, but now after the patch, it's just amazing. Like, I love Solid Alibi in order to counter Denathrius, for example, but why do you think this card suddenly has just, made its way back into the deck when before we just weren't playing it at all?
But what card? Sorry.
Solid Alibi. Until your next turn, your hero can take 1 damage at a time.
In Mage, yeah. It should be very strong because we knew 3 mana card, like there was the Paladin one that was making your hero immune. There were also the Rogue one, like Cloak of Shadows for 3 mana. So having for 2 mana that kind of cards is, of course, pretty strong, because the maximum amount of damage you can take is something like 7, or it depends on the board, of course, but if you are taking that in mind, that you are at 10 health or something like that, it just for 2 mana you have one more turn to maybe reach your Denastrius or other powerful turns, or Mass Polymorph also. If you are playing against Miracle Rug, you can just alibi waiting for your Polymorph to transform an Edwin into a 1/1. So definitely a great card to have in that metagame. You can also play it again from Down to Wrap for sure.
This is the most greedy that I've ever seen this deck made out to be. Like, kind of like what I was saying earlier, with this deck being able to gain like essentially 60 life total, or I mean, it could have 60 life thanks to Deepwater Evoker. But then you also have like Sire Denathrius. It like when you can't OTK with it, for example, to potentially give you even more life steal. And Mage historically was not known for its for its HP advantages back in the day. Ice Barrier, I think, was like the only way to meaningfully heal with this class. So it's just kind of interesting to see it take like a complete, 180, to where we have plenty of cards that help this deck maintain and survive. And then, it just fits perfectly with the ping package to actually kill our opponent at some point, rather than just waiting for, the perfect spell to be drawn or something like that. It's just, Mage has taken a complete 180 since this expansion went live.
Yeah, lots of health points that are also very strong against Curse Warlock that is making a comeback in the metagame. So, as you said, the Mage with the 4 mana card that is drawing a spell, the Deepwater Evoker, can reach 60 armor, so you can just out of armor some Curse Warlock, because yeah, they have limited amount of damage. If you are stealing some key curse cards, you can just totally out of health the Curse Warlock, and so you can just ping him until death if he can't kill you.
Yeah. But only seeing one druid banned, or I'm sorry, 2 druids banned in this tournament kind of shows how broken some of these other classes have become. Because I remember last time I did casting, druid was just banned every single time. There was no discussion around it. You were targeting something that wasn't druid, and you would just ban that off. But now we've gotten to the point where Mage can actually fight back against druid somewhat because of Theatar Mad Duke, and because of, well, its ping packages. Thief Rogue is able to beat Ramp Druid now consistently because of Edwin consistency, and it could just fall now, and that's really a big deal when it used to be the most banned class.
Yeah, very good point to talk about Edwin, the 3 mana Edwin, but I am very surprised on my side to not see more ban on the Rogue. I thought it would be 3/4 ban tonight, but only 1 ban. It will be on the next BO, but I thought players would be more scary about the Thief Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that you kind of brought up earlier, like, Rogue has ways of being counter-queued, like we're seeing with GamerRvg's Wig Priest. So if you have a deck that you're very confident can beat Thief Rogue more times than not, then it just makes sense to leave it up. Versus a deck like Druid, there's not a lot of decks that can consistently beat with 15 mana by turn 6. So I feel like that's a lot of people's thought process when building these lineups, is that Thief Rogue, when it pops off, yeah, it's got its ways of just being absolutely disgusting. But decks have ways of being able to beat that, versus Druid mana ramp is just Druid mana ramp.
Yes. I see. Also, we were talking about the Miracle Priest before. Last night there was also other group stage of the Max League, and Dravo went 3-0 with his Miracle Priest. So it may be an underestimated deck in the metagame right now, because it's pretty new. Not all the players are playing it because it's quite difficult to play. But maybe in the next weeks he can rise, like a GamerRvg or a Boar Priest, to be one of the best deck. If players
Yeah,
are...
I mean, I
all on
don't
you.
want to say that Miracle Rogue is the best deck, but it
I,
can't deny the numbers.
I
There are
was
ways of beating
talking
it.
about Miracle Priest.
Oh, Miracle Priest?
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
Drago went 3-0 with it last night.
yeah, I mean, the deck can brick really hard, but the deck can also perform as consistently as what Dravo can do with the deck, because he also did very well with the deck, not only in this tournament, but on ladder, he's just been crushing it. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's the one that popularized the archetype to begin with, because that's where I saw it. But there are times, like if you get Theotard, for example, that is really bad. If you get your Volish taken, if you get a Radiant Elemental taken at the wrong time, it could be kind of rough. I've had at least 40 games, 50 games of the deck in the past week, and most of my losses have been because of Theotar or because I went in for the combo, didn't have Boon, and then I got silenced.
Yeah. It can happen. It can happen. Yeah, as we talked before, it's very depending of which matchup you are queuing. And yes, we are thinking about maybe changing the order of the match, starting maybe with NoHandsGamer against Jarla. I am currently asking them.
Yeah, unfortunately, GamerRvg is not responding to our messages, so we have to maybe try and do something else here.
Yeah. I am PMing Jarla and NoHandsGamer.
One thing I will point out though about the Wig Priest is the inclusion of identity theft, because this card can be absolutely nutty in the right situations. And I don't even want to talk about what happens when you hit identity theft into identity theft in the priest matchup. This card is just an absolute headache if you play it against a priest, because if you think about it, no card is safe when you play this card. But that's kind of the reason why I like it a lot, because I've been able to find ramp out of this card. If you're against Rogue, fighting Shadow Step is probably one of the most disgusting things you can do in this expansion right now, where Volition to Shadow Step is just the most dirty way, I guess, of scamming games, getting like double boom targets and whatnot. But identity theft is mostly because of how good it is in the matchups that you're going to be seeing the most. So Mage is probably not the greatest matchup for playing this card. But if you need to find like a freeze, if you need to find a scam card, you can pretty much find a different way of winning the game if you do hit like face for like 24 damage and then you can't get that last little bit. So identity theft has kind of proven itself, and you can also play it for 0 because of Illuminate. So I feel like that is another noteworthy reason to put this on the deck.
Okay, so we are waiting for other players' answer. And NoHandsGamer is currently streaming on his own channel, so he's ready to join us when we need it. But Jarla is currently also AFK, so we'll see soon enough who will be ready first between GamerRvg and Jarla. Because it got banned, we didn't talk that much about Quest Priest.
Oh, Quest Priest.
Yeah.
I mean, that deck isn't that supposed to be the deck that you want to use to beat Druid, if I remember correctly? It's got like a really good Druid matchup. I should probably double check my my stats on this before I start talking about it. But Quest Priest was honestly made at first to beat Rogue, and then it turned out that it was good against something else. And now that I'm checking the stats, the other deck was not Druid. It was actually oh, it's not Mage either. Mage doesn't even have the greatest matchup. I guess Priest just beats everything that isn't Priest. I'm sorry, that isn't Druid, that isn't Mage, because it does beat Naga Priest. It does beat the Warlock decks. I guess it's kind of good against this new Beast Druid that's evolved recently, but Quest Priest has just been one of those decks to where, especially in Top Legend, if you can play the deck perfectly, there are some matchups that you can actually, weasel your way out of. And even though it's not favorable into Druid and into Mage, it still has ways of beating them.
Yeah, and you are playing that when you are playing perfectly, it can perform really great. But also in lower ranks, I think it can be a great deck for new players to play, because to have your win, it's not that difficult to have. You can, against basic players, you can play curve in the curve, so playing on 4 mana card, etc. So it's also a great deck for not experimented players, I think.
It's just a good deck if you want to actually think about your choices and to see if you're making the right choices or not, because this is not a deck that you can pilot perfectly by any means necessary. And one thing that I think is kind of interesting is that everyone has been talking about how Theotar is really good against Quest Priest. I actually saw a list on Ladder. I don't know exactly who it is, but the guy's name I think was Nice Deck Bro or something. But there was somebody that was running Priestess Valish in their deck, and the goal was to finish the last part of your quest, play a bunch of spells, play Valish, and then immediately play the quest reward, so that way Theotar doesn't automatically win the game for your opponent. Like, is that the best way to play the deck? No, probably not. But
I
it would be interesting if you would if you were thinking about that while building your lineup, and say against Priest or against Druid, for example, a matchup that's really bad, you just have a way of kind of turning it around.
I don't think it will be a great for your average win percentage, because you can turn around Theotar, but it is making your deck very bad, because you are running the Valish that is bad in the deck, and also you need to have in the hand Valish when you are doing your quest reward, and it's not all the game because you are running 40 cards. But also, to avoid the Theotar for opponents, you have your own Theotars that you can play to steal back the quest reward. Is if you are not at 10 mana and your opponent can't play it right now, it can be a good way also.
Yeah, I as a demon hunter today actually stole a quest for priest reward, and I was about to win the game until they played a random counterspell from that 2-drop minion, and they stopped my draw 4 discount 7 turn because I was doubling up the relic. So even if priest does get its reward taken, it doesn't guarantee that they're gonna lose the game, because it is still control priest at the end of the day. If they stick a board, they stick a board. But even with Theotar, priest still has ways of winning.
Yes, and also there is Mutanus to hit the opponent Theotar as well. So yeah, definitely ways to fight back as a priest against a Theotar in the opponent's hand.
I guess if we could talk about the one, I don't want to say misfit deck, but the one unique deck being brought out of all the lineups today would be Jarla's Phylactery Warlock. Everybody else, I guess Jarla also brought this Miracle Rogue with Lone Shark, so I guess he's taken a little bit of a different approach here. But just seeing one combo Warlock makes me happy as a combo player, that maybe these decks might be able to thrive. But because of Theotar, it just really makes it difficult for these style of decks to be good right now. Like, look at Boar Priest, for example. There are people that literally just, I think it was Dead Draw that was playing the deck on stream, and he had not a loss counter, but he had a Theotar counter, which automatically is a loss counter. But yeah, the amount of losses that you suffer as a combo deck, literally just because of that card, is kind of astounding.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, you were talking about Phylactery Warlock. Very interesting bring from Jarla. I didn't see a single one on ladder, only the new hybrid Imp and Curse Warlock. But
Oh, Fury Hunter trying this deck on ladder earlier today.
who?
But I was playing a Fury Hunter.
Okay.
He changed his name to Combo Back Please, and I'm just I'm gonna just I guess reflect that statement, because I would love for combo decks to be kind of a thing again. But combo Warlock was something that I thought would be able to survive in this meta, just because of the 2 mana, draw your entire deck essentially. That just works really well in Phylactery Warlock when you have Runed Mithril Rod. But Quest Warlock doesn't work. Phylactery Warlock is probably going after something very specific, which I couldn't even really tell you what this deck is good into right now, because of how common Theotar is in most lineups, or in most decks, I should say. So seeing Phylactery Warlock maybe get a win is going to be kind of interesting.
I have a good news. Jarla is quite ready, so we will be able to start soon with Jarla against NoHandsGamer when Jarla will launch his game and NoHandsGamer finishing his stream. So Finally, we will have some Hearthstone game. Enough talking. It will be soon placed to the fight.
Okay, so they're still playing on EU, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. So I don't have to switch servers. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like NoHandsGamer is pretty much ready to go. I'm just waiting for Jarla at the moment. So thank you guys for being so patient as we get all of this stuff organized. But now that we know that it's Jarla versus NoHandsGamer, I guess we can look into their lineups a little bit and see what varies. Now that I've been looking at GamerRvg and Paraducks' lineup for the past half hour.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so Jarla has a similar build to what Paradox has for the Spooky Mage, but he doesn't have the Destroy Location card. I think the only difference with their list is... Wait a minute, there's actually a 2-card difference. Yeah, I can't see the immediate... Oh, wait a minute. Wait, Paradox doesn't run Silence in his deck. Jarla does, though. So Jarla has a Smothering Starfish in order to hopefully be better in the mirror to stop like a freeze board or something like that. He's also running Miracle Rogue with Coin Loan Shark possibilities. So I'm gonna love to see this deck piloted by Jarla, somebody who's known for not necessarily roping every time, but taking his time to actually figure out what the best course of action here. Like this is not a deck that you can wait with. So I'm gonna have fun watching Jarla perform with this.
There is a priest in Jarla's Miracle Rogue. It is not common, right?
I'm sorry?
There is Sprint, is Jarla's Rogue.
Oh God, you're right. How did I miss over that? Yes, there is a Sprint in this deck. And I've seen like some people argue that Sprint in this deck isn't actually that bad because you're trying to OTK with it to begin with. So it's like you're either popping off the combo without sprint draws, or you can use sprint before you pop off the combo in order to make sure that you have enough gas and enough cards being played in one turn. And honestly, like prep into sprint, we can't deny how good that can be if you get that on turn 3. Not saying it's the reason you should run sprint in every single rogue deck, but again, with this particular deck, it makes sense to run a one of. Whether or not it's most optimal is still questionable. But if you're going to run Sprint in a Hearthstone deck, this is the only deck that you can do it with.
Yes, makes sense, yeah.
I'm very confident with that statement.
Yeah, the Edwin from Jarla might struggle because he's also playing Scabs, Sprint. So there are lots of low roll that Jarla can go in if he's hitting the expensive card of his rogue. Yeah, there are lots of players cutting Scabs. Scabs is one of the greatest rogue card, but just to make Edwin better, some players are cutting Scabs. There are different rogue players team.
I can understand cutting Scabs, though, because, like, if this deck does what it wants to, you shouldn't have to rely on Scabs, even in the situations where you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with a taunt, or maybe I want to, like, cheat mana, but, like, the only way that Scabs is coming out early is if you have prep into Bone Spike to play it out for 6 mana. That's like the best case situation for this card. Maybe you get an additional 8 damage. But I think I agree with you. I think that this card is a little bit too greedy in this list because you're just usually trying to kill your opponent before turn 8 more than like 70% of the time in most games. So I don't like Scabs in this deck actually, like, at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a true rogue lover, so I won't give my own take on that. But yeah, I'm just saying what I read on Twitter. But maybe Jarla will just prove we are wrong and win one of his games thanks to having Scabs in the list. But okay, it's only a few games, so you need more games too.
Looks like the players are beginning to challenge each other. So our match is coming up very, very soon, guys. Don't you worry. It's happening hopefully in the next like 2 minutes.
Right.
Take a second to look at NoHands lineup before we get into this, because I don't think we've talked about that yet.
We might. Yeah.
Yeah, because NoHands has got the chonky lineup. He's got, the true American XL recipes. for all of his decks. Got the XL Ramp Druid, XL Spooky Mage, and XL Quest Priest. Oh, my Kekona Pride is just all over the place right now. There's a lot of cards and a lot of orange cards that we're looking at. A lot of legendaries that are in these lineups. But oh, wait a minute. No Hands actually brought the Valish and the Quest Priest. We might be able to see Quest Priest player at the Theater today. And I get to say that, I told you so. Maybe this deck has some kind of merit. Because I would want to agree with you that this deck is very greedy to play. But if we look closely at the deck, No Hands is running 2 Switcheroos. He's running 2 Shadow Word Ruins. He's running an Identity Theft, not 2 copies of it. Like, this deck is very teched, I should say, to make sure that Valish is not a detriment in this deck. And this is something that I kind of like about Priest, is when you have these kind of mechanics pop up where, maybe it just changes how we play Quest Priest from now on. We just don't know.
And players are in-game right now. So you will have Jarla at the bottom of the screen, and you will have NoHandsGamer at the top of your screen. Starting right now, what will be the first BO, the first classes queued by the players.
So it looks like we've got NoHandsGamer on the XL Quest Priest, and Jarla is trying out with his XL Spooky Mage. So this is going to be a bit of a grind fest, to say the least. If I remember correctly, Mage is somewhat favored in this matchup, but we have no idea how this Valish legendary performs in this deck yet. At least, not a lot of people understand how well this deck performs yet. So the real question is NoHandsGamer going to get rewarded for this very spicy deck bring?
I would love to see it, to be honest.
I would love to see it too, man, because I just want to say that I was right. That's all that I want to do. I just want to be right at the end of the day. That's the only reason we play Hearthstone, right? It's to be correct. It's to win games. And when you win games, you could just brag how correct you are all the time.
Yeah.
That's the only reason to have a high rank.
Always be result-oriented, of course.
Yeah, we got some tempo going on here, though. No Hands is able to complete the one part of the quest by playing a 3-drop. He still needs to play a 2 and a 4. Has Shadow Word Death ready to go in hand, while Jarla has a lot of choices that he can make on his turn 3.
I would imagine that Cold Case is the best play to do. It's giving you the more board, because 2 skeletons for 3 mana is quite great. Yeah, he's going for it. You can have a good tempo if you are freezing that Viper and going face. Okay, no freeze.
Any reason why we don't play AI here? Just to get the arcane spell played, so it doesn't become harder to play it later. I mean, we're probably guaranteed always going to be playing it, but killing that 3/4, is it really that necessary? Do you really care about it that much?
It can take lots of trade, and that's, you don't really want to let the priest take the trade.
This just makes the most amount of sense, because you can always just play the Arcane Intellect right now. There's not really a lot of other plays that Jarla has available. I just wonder, like, what else could we have maybe done if we played our AI now? Maybe we could set up for, like, another AI turn. But Jarla is choosing to go with the tempo route versus going for card cycle, which does kind of make sense in this particular matchup. We've looked at No Hand's deck, and this isn't the conventional Quest Priest deck. So we might be able to sneak in a lot of extra damage, because he's not going to be clearing the board all too much, NoHandsGamer. Ooh, Wildfire picked up. That is huge. Now if we end up drawing the hero card, we pretty much get to play every single spell school. Well, NoHandsGamer is just kind of just waiting for the right cards at the right time. Or I should say at the worst time, because they are not popping up right now.
Alright.
Oh no.
Still, yeah, no 2 and 4 cost card, but you can maybe reach 1 thanks to Illuminate.
There are actually no cards that you can make cost 4 here.
But if it's a
If
minion,
anything, well, it won't go. It won't reduce in cost though, because it only does it
yeah,
for spells.
Xyrella, for example, is great. And yeah, he picked
If you,
it.
if Against All Odds was still in the deck, then he could have cheated out the 2. But unfortunately, the only 5 cost spell is the Against All Odds, 1 of copy. The only other spell that could have been hit would have been like Shadowward Ruin, and at that point, you just want to hit like Switcheroo or Identity Theft so you can play it for free. And honestly, like if we end up playing, I think he chose Mutanus, correct?
No, he chose Xyrella because he will be able to play it for 4 mana to get on his
Okay.
quest.
Okay, because I was about to make the argument that like if you have Mutanus in hand and then you end up having to play it sooner rather than later before your quest is completed, you only have 1 other 7-drop in the deck. And this deck also only runs 1 8-drop, the Zarella the Devout Hero card. So completing the quest with this deck is actually kind of difficult if you're not able to find random outs through Identity Theft or through stealing cards with Theatar. This deck is very reliant on being able to draw most of its most of its cards. While Mage is just sort of doing what Mage does, just playing cards and just waiting for the opponent to come up with an answer. Which luckily, NoHandsGamer will clear this board and progress his quest.
And yeah, also Xyrella can tank one of the skeleton maybe? Yes, it did. Every health point is important against that mage, because it can just do cheap damage during the whole game, so if you can avoid 2 damage, you are happy to avoid them.
Just looking ahead at like Jarla's hand right now, it's just a bunch of just nothing, I should say. Like you have ways of being able to maybe play Keldazad to bring back 3 skeletons. That is the most proactive thing that you can do as Jarla right now. There's just, you need to find more card draw, you need to find some damage. And now that we're playing Identity Theft, we got a little bit of some information on what's in hand. If I remember correctly, first one was Coin, Starfish, and Max Poly. I'm sorry, no, it was Solid Alibi. Sorry. But NoHandsGamer is getting a lot of information with Identity Theft, which is another reason why I love this card. I usually don't like priest cards, but Identity Theft is very, very interesting.
Alright. Quest completed for the priest. You have finally that Mutanus. You are talking about the difficulty to do the 7-cost step of the quest.
Yeah, but do you want to put it in your hand, though? That's the one thing that you might be second guessing here, because most people would probably just go with Thrive to try and get like Switcheroo or get more cards that'll help you draw your 5-cost. Mutanus is also just good to have in hand if your opponent doesn't have Theatar, but since he played Identity Theft, you can kind of rule it out a little bit. You saw 3 out of 5 of the cards in hand. So I like NoHandsGamer going for the Mutanus and keeping it. Because now we just need to hit a 5, we need to hit our Zarella, and then the quest is completed. While Jarla is playing Kel'Thuzad for 3 minions. Oh man, this is not good for the mage.
But yeah, still a quite good tempo play. For 8 mana you have a quite okay board.
Unfortunately, No Hands does have not necessarily the perfect way of being able to clear this, but when you summon 6/6 in stats and you see a Light Shower Elemental, you really need to put together something. And there we go. Those are the cards that put together the game plan. Now Jarla's going to get even more card draw. He's going to get a better hero power. And now Lethality is going to be a very real game plan for Jarla to shoot for. And NoHandsGamer's on the clock now.
Alright, got guys, more skeletons.
Even more card draw. And we got the... Oh god, so our hero power is starting at 4, I think? Yeah, it's starting at 4.
He's great.
Already got Reckless Apprentice. Yeah, those draws were massive here. I think he might be. Yeah, I think he's considering going for the freeze here, so we can charge up the hero power like guaranteed next turn. That doesn't seem that bad in all honesty.
Not guaranteed, because if the skeleton death rattle is going into the elemental.
Well, you wouldn't attack though. Like if you played Flurry and just waited, next turn you can. Oh, I guess it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, because you have to attack with one skeleton.
Hear me out. You play Smothering Starfish, so that way your skeletons don't deal damage.
But yeah, I think he went for one trade with the skeleton, and if the death rattle went face, he would have to do the flurry play.
Ooh, Spirit Guide for card draw. That's pretty good.
It is. Only 8 cost missing, as you said.
Oh man, Deathborn looking really good with Commander Shavara in hand as well. Let's see, how many spells for Shavara? Only one more spell for Shavara, so you could potentially go for Deathborn into Shavara if you just want to go for maximum value. Evoker could potentially hit high cost spell. Well, I guess the highest cost spell where you're polymorphs and your Deadborn. So just getting a card for the hero power makes a lot of sense here. You don't have to go for Shavara. You just really need to pump up the gas and make sure that NoHandsGamer doesn't have time to complete the quest. Yeah, this move makes a lot of sense. No Hands is probably just gonna play Mutanus here to progress the quest. Eating 2 minions is not that bad in all honesty, now that we can see what's in Jarla's hand.
It's still good, because also it's making your Mutanus bigger, so maybe harder for the mage to clear it.
Okay, Shavara is safe, but Mutanus did eat a very important minion. That Reckless Apprentice. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Back.
The apprentice just knows when the teacher needs help. Yeah, remember that thing I told you about Mage having 60 life? Oh my god.
Okay, the coin is not the best card to have back, but you have card draw, more skeletons.
Is it possible for us to get double value out of the hero power this turn? No, if there's a way to deal an odd amount of damage, we'd be able to trade evenly into the Mutanus. But I think what you could still do though is just fire the apprentice value and just knock out the Mutanus that way. Unfortunately, oh, he's just going all face. Okay, I guess this makes sense as well too. Prevents the Mutanus from being able to attack. Looks like he's just going for lethal these next 2 turns. Well, No Hands does not have the only 8-drop available in the deck. Zarella the Devout. In a 40-card deck, it must feel bad to need 1 card.
Okay, Amulet currently resurrect to friendly, so maybe we'll play the spirit first to have it available. Okay, going first for the amulet. You have 1 skeleton also.
Light cannot exist.
Oh wow, the skeletons actually screw up with the death rattle. I don't think there's another minion that was in that pool, but that didn't cross my mind until the skeleton came back. Suddenly we're playing Spooky Priest. So Jarla doesn't want to get too greedy here. I think Rune is probably a bit too much.
If my calculations are correct.
Our hero power is at 6, so we can charge it again and put it at 8. Part of me is just kind of thinking to charge the hero power, play Solid Alibi, play Arcane Intellect, and just kind of just wait. Like, we know that the priest really doesn't have much going on, for them right now. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone for this, you know, big board play. But I guess Jarla doesn't want to pass up the opportunity of the, you know, just denying Priest all of that board. I don't know. I still kind of like the solid alibi draw play. Because you get to pump up the hero power with that. I guess the only disadvantage of that play is you don't get to go face.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever, the behemoth will heal NoHandsGamer for a lot.
The minion's also going to be at an odd cost, so upgrading the hero power is going to be it might actually be impossible this turn. Unless you do something with Rune of the Archmage. This is kind of the reason why I like the idea of, like, stalling. Is because our board was fine. We had a way of being able to deny the damage this turn because of solid alibi. And with the way that our hero power gets so massive, I don't think we're, like, on the clock here. No Hands is still waiting for the 8, so there really just didn't seem like a reason to not go for resources when you're already massively ahead, you know? But now, oh my god, the random! Wait, did the random just work? Oh wait, okay, no, he got a wildfire. Okay, alright. The random almost worked to give him an upgraded hero power. That would have been so funny.
Yeah.
Never lucky, dude. You always get the wrong one drop. It's never first flame. It's never first flame.
Here you have to coin hero power, it's quite good.
Yeah, you have to kill it, right? Like, you don't want the priest to heal it. Explosive rune, so like, there's not even there's not even value that you can get if this thing were to hit face. Oh no, the Valish! Oh, the worst timing. That's the wrong end of the deck. Oh no.
Yeah, it's very hard to see that Valish here.
I would just box number 2, Electric Boogaloo. All right, what's in the second box? Maybe we get another wildfire. Okay, counterspell, deep breath. Oh, okay, that's not that bad. Ramped up some mana. We got an additional copy of the rune. All right, I mean, at least this one was better than the last one. Can hero power coin into a 4 if you want to not burn any cards. You could throw away a flurry, but I feel like you just want to kill that minion. I don't really understand the reason for saving coin though.
I don't know if there is a 11 mana combo we are missing.
Not necessarily like a combo. Like, I mean, you don't even have like Bran in the deck, so you can't even go for like Kael'thas Bran into. Actually, hold on, Bran is in this deck, right? Okay, no, I take that back. Sorry, Bran is in this deck, so you can go for the massive combo. But even then, coin doesn't really help out with that.
Cannot exist without the dark.
Solid alibi now being used just to stop the behemoth from getting massive damage.
Yeah. And here you can freeze even more with the flurry. You can also freeze the spirit guide.
So Jarla needs to end this game before No Hands gets to his Zarella Devout. And there's been a decent amount of Death Rattle minions that have died so far. So getting the value of the Zarella might put No Hands back in this game.
Yeah, but
And without Theatar, things are looking kind of promising.
15 cards left in the deck, so that's still quite a lot. You tried this, I think? Oh, card draw.
All right.
But, okay.
Oh wait, that's right, counterspell.
I forgot also about it.
Yeah, even if we would have played the amulet here, and counterspell wasn't the secret, then like imagine No Hands bringing back a skeleton here. Would have been awful. Yeah, now Jarla is just kind of in a situation to where he doesn't need to be all too greedy. Like, you could just keep rushing them down with the hero power. Mordresh is pretty much going to be lethal at this point. Especially now that we got Bran. Oh, my God. Wait, so Denathrius. Denathrius can start becoming a real threat now.
How much right now? Yeah. Not that much infused at the moment. That Behemoth is alive for so much time, but always freezed.
Priest really isn't doing much to keep itself alive, unfortunately. It's doing everything it can in order to try and find the one card that it needs. Let's see, how much damage is this? So Denathrius is only at 6 damage right now.
Yeah, so even the ping is better.
That's 12. Wait, hold on. So that's 12 plus 8. That's lethal. Yeah, it's lethal.
8.
Because you have the coin. So now we found out the reason why Jarla kept the coin. So you could do this this Kael'thas combo and fit in a ping.
Yeah.
Jarla towards the very end of the game, showing you why he is one of the best at this game.
Yeah, if he really thought about that combo, it's very great from him. Because that's not something you are used to having the coin on turn 10, so it's not a classic pattern of plays you have to, okay, I will save my coin for ping plus brand plus Denathrius, so well seen by Jarla that it's a different line of play from the other game, but it gave him the game.
Yeah, granted we did forgo a ping during the middle of that game, but at the same time, like the priest was playing a lot of different healing. Like, I think Jarla just knew exactly what to do in terms of like how to space out his game plan, because he pretty much did everything that he needed to there in that situation. Just being patient is just so important in any matchup against a priest, because the last thing that you want to do is to essentially get caught against the priest's shenanigans. But now that the priest is gone, we don't have to worry about that anymore. NoHandsGamer is going to have to somehow beat Jarla's mage with a ramp druid now, and that is kind of like, I don't want to say like the fairest game that we have in Hearthstone right now, but I would say one of the most common matchups is ramp druid versus spooky mage right now. There's a lot of games that are supporting the data on that one.
Alright, already 2 solid alibi for Jarla. So you can tank lots of health points against big druid creature.
Yeah, no guff in hand though, so I'm not interested. I need guff in order to make druid even bearable to play right now. I just need that smiling face. At least we have the first part. We got the wild growth, so ramping is still happening, but the rest of the hand is pretty bad.
Yeah, we'll take lots of damage before having his big minions.
Jarla also has the Magister ready to go in hand. So, NoHands needs to find his hero card sooner rather than later. Only play that you can make as a Druid of the Claw, or I'm sorry, Druid of the Reef into a minion. That feels real bad. Can't even hero power one of these 1/1s. Jarla just has even more tempo to develop here, especially with the Night Pug Sanctum top deck. Oh man. This Druid needs to get on the board fast because it's looking like a coin Gale turn. Oh man, that's so bad.
Whatever, coin scale will clean a good part of the board, and next turn you have also another scale of Onyxia, and then you will have the growth to earn the big taunt, so things are not looking that bad for NoHandsGamer.
But with no Denathrius, though, it feels kind of bad. Like, you're able to stop the onslaught of damage, which does need to be dealt with. But you've also got these skeletons that are going to trade into your whelps, most likely. Which, wow, wait, really? Wait, what? Only one minion got hit. What is this? What is this RNG?
Tusks won't stop shattering.
Pretty nutty, dude.
It is.
Okay, well, now we're at 7 mana. There's a GamerRvg Carpenter in our deck. And there's a Nourish that hasn't been found yet. But the idea of trying to find that Nourish.
But would you take it on draw or in ramp? Because you are already at 7 mana. So it's not nourish, whatever.
There's one copy of Flipper Friends, so NoHandsGamer just failed the 33%. That skeleton RNG is coming back to haunt him.
But it's
wait a
not a turn to Jerry, so it was not that important.
No, this was really bad going into Jarla's next turn. I mean, okay, maybe he's trying to prevent Dawngrasp from coming out of turn too soon. Maybe he's just trying to build up a board in order to, start to swing this game back in his favor. But Jarla just having this Deathborn was the most disgusting counterplay towards summoning the Rush Otters.
Yeah.
And right now, we're seeing a Guffless Druid with a very expensive hand and very low HP. Playing their second scales without Denathrius value.
That's right. Hitting minions this time. Yeah, it did.
Not so lucky this time. Easiest Dawngrasp of Jarla's career. Let's see. Okay, so how can NoHandsGamer get out of this? You have to probably play Miracle Growth next turn. Let's see, how many cards do we have? Ooh, okay, so now we have Miracle Growth into coin. Oh, we don't have Earthen Scales in hand. I thought that you dropped the Earthen Scales for a second. So yeah, NoHands is just going for maximum tempo. But is he gonna be sad to find out there's only one minion in hand? Yeah, this is supposed to be favored for the mage. I'm sorry, no, this is supposed to be favored for the druid. According to the stats, it's supposed to be massively favored for druid, but this entire game has just been druid trying to come back.
Yeah. With NoHandsGamer curing with his druid, knowing that Jarla was playing mage, it should have been a favored matchup for him.
K-Con of Pride is starting to fade away, man. I'm not gonna lie.
But there is a rune of the Archmage in Jarla's hand, so everything can still happen.
Even upgrade the hero power, play Wildfire. Suddenly it's at 5 damage. Really, Archmage is gonna be nuts if we get some more some card draw, maybe some board freezes. This is really where the druid is gonna have to like gain life and take the board back, and that's just really hard at this stage of the game. Oh wait a minute, Jarla not killing the Kael'thas?
We have NoHandsGamer at hand, so we know that it's great because he doesn't have minions in hand, but maybe that's just a great hand reading from Jarla's. Maybe he just understood that NoHandsGamer is not having minions in hand.
Oh, there's Guff. Oh, there's finally the Guff. There's that smile that we needed.
But it's a yellow smile for that guy because I don't know if he will manage to save NoHandsGamer.
Is he considering Theatar?
Or maybe the planted evidence to have the box, the druid box.
Nah, I think we need Guff. We need the mana. We need to start ramping. We get the other copy of Guff as well. So we can just do disgusting mana ramp turns now. There's probably no way that the Kael'thas survives now. But good play by Jarla to like assess his opponent's hand, knowing that those cards were stuck to the far left for so long, to where there probably wouldn't have been another payoff for Kael'thas.
Yeah.
But with Solid Alibi, there really isn't like much risk associated with it, I guess. Wait, is he just gonna mass poly? Oh, he's just gonna go for the rune? All right, put it in the commander. That makes sense.
Two-Face? Oh, Kael'thas finally died.
I think if I were to have done this, I probably would have traded one skeleton just to be safe. Because I don't know, RNG and I, we've got some trust issues. But oh man, Jarla knew exactly when to throw down that rune. His minions didn't die at all. All right, so how is Druid gonna find its way out of this? If we had Denathrius in hand, we could make the argument that going for like a big combo is still possible. But we've also lost Bran, and we still don't have Denathrius. Guess we can win with Giants, potentially? But we know that Jarla's got Mass Poly in the deck at least. We know that he's got it in hand.
It will be so hard.
The hero power's at 5.
Oh,
Never lucky, dude. Never lucky.
indeed. So
Well,
what
I
you
mean,
do?
You could still get lucky with the skeleton. If it kills the 9-1, you can just freeze the giant, which is probably what's gonna happen now. I'm just going face.
You're not that far from killing your opponent.
I guess you're just playing solid alibi to make the commander pretty good, because next turn you can just go Mass Poly into commander, get the 3 cards back.
Yeah. And also your ping is at 0 mana, so you can keep pinging your opponent.
No hands, still without his sire. Aquatic form can maybe find it. I mean, you essentially get triple card draw out of it, because you get the original aquatic form from your deck plus 2 cards from the bottom. Copior is going to help build up a board, but we're still kind of struggling HP-wise.
And the board will be huge, and even it will be only 1/1s because of Jarla's next turn. It's
Oh
still
god, is he going
something-
for the Convoke? He's going for the Convoke!
Oh,
Oh, he's hoping for nothing but buffs, but, I mean, no matter what happens, Mass Poly's going to be able to deal with it. I actually think he might need to hit, like, card draw, ramp, and armor. That's the one thing that I never see out of this card. I never see armor. Oh, no.
right. But the mass poly will come. Whatever. Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
Alignment.
alignment now just strictly a worse card out of
Yeah.
out of the Convoke. Strictly worse, by the way. Dude, that completely changes everything. I think it's actually impossible for No Hands to win now. He's got a board full of sheep. Yeah, that's just GG, dude.
Wow, that was bad.
Like, the only thing that you can do is to somehow find random armor.
This must be the way.
Okay, there's Denathrius.
Yeah.
You have to pick Nourish because you need to play your cards. Oh my god.
Is that
This is
true?
terrible.
Still the play? No. Because it was healing you next turn and you need health on next turn.
Yeah, there's nothing you can really do here, man. Because, like, Jarla isn't gonna kill the board. He's not gonna play a minion. Doesn't need to.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
he needs
that's
to
right.
do is just hit you in the face with the hero power. You're board locked. This is actually why sheep are busted in this deck. Oh my god. I get it now. I actually get it now.
Wow.
Meh. Never mess with sheep in Hearthstone, man. There's a reason why you always kill the sheep. It's to prevent stuff like this. Oh my god. I can't believe it. Like, I guess we just learned something today, guys. If you didn't understand why Mass Poly's in the deck, there you go. It actually makes a world of a difference in the Druid matchup. Not only are you stopping like 8/8s and stuff from slaughtering your HP, but literally you could board lock your opponent without freezing them. That's amazing.
Alright, so Mage Mirror right now.
You asked for it.
Jarla about to potentially go for 3-0 with his mage deck. So let's take a look at what No Hands is running, because I think their lists are slightly different. Give me a second to look at these decks side by side. I think they're pretty much the same list. Okay, no, there are some differences. So Jarla is running a Smothering Starfish, while No Hands is not. In its place, it seems to be a second copy of Blizzard from No Hands' side, and I think that's actually the only difference. Yep, that's the only difference of the deck. There's one Starfish in replacement of a Blizzard for Jarla's deck, while No Hands is running 2 copies of Blizzard. So it's pretty much the same deck. Who's going to get their hero card first? And it looks like it's going to be No Hands.
I see you've brought guests.
Alright, so here's the question. Can Jarla build up enough armor to stop Magister? No, that's a dumb question. There's no way that happens. So you have to scam them somehow if you don't beat them with hero card. I guess that is like the $1 million question. Can Mage actually win the mirror if it doesn't have the hero card?
Okay, tempo here. Thanks to that. Prince Renaissal.
Yeah, Tempo King.
Always.
Gotta vote for draw a card next turn. Yeah, don't need to play AI. Let's get that damage in while we can.
Mm.
No waves can sink this ship.
Jarla has the tempo, but NoHandsGamer has the dance rep, so it will be interesting to see how it will do.
Yeah, I mean, the tempo is only going to go so far, right? Like, you can keep summoning minions, and you can keep pressuring a decent amount of damage each turn, but, like, once that Magister comes down, suddenly, like, minions being on the board is kind of a downside if your opponent plays the hero card.
I understand, yeah.
And since No Hands does also have coin, he can just get it out that much faster. So even though it's probably still the correct thing for Jarla to do here is just to go for tempo, it just kind of sucks that it might end up being the reason that he loses if the hero card can ramp up fast enough. But at least for Jarla, if he does lose this game, he's got 2 more matches. So No Hands really has to not get lost in the sauce and just go for the best plays possible every single turn. Because if he loses, he's got a pretty rough start to get out of this group.
These covenants chill me.
Okay, so we've only played Cold Case. So Magister isn't really going to do all too much, but the hero power is still pretty worth it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you could set up like AI, and maybe well, if you set up Frozen Alibi, you screw up the Frost cards.
Still no dance grab for Jarla. And yeah, time for NoHandsGamer's one. Jarla shaking his head. Not happy
I would
to see it.
like. I ended up seeing. I think it was Meaty make this tweet where it's like games with when both players have hero cards are really fun, but when one player has hero card and the other person doesn't, it feels awful.
At least it's fun for the one who has the hero card.
Especially in this matchup, like, I mean, it's one thing when one player has Guff and the other one doesn't, but when literally you have more damage than the other mage every single turn, that feels bad. Maybe I'm just used to seeing 20 mana on a druid and I'm just, internalizing it, but whenever I see a mage with bigger hero power than mine, I get a little angry, Yeah, Jarla though does have a decent amount of combo tools in his hand if he can get the rest of the cards ready to go. Kael'thas is just really dead without Denathrius ready to go. Yep, board that is dying, but we can't play around the hero power at all. So even though Jarla has had tempo on his side this entire game, kind of like what we were saying earlier, the hero power is going to start ramping up very quickly. And it's just going to be that much harder for Jarla to keep himself on the board and have a reason to commit minions, you know?
Yeah, because, wow, it will deal 4 this time to the deep water, so already a 6.
By turn 8.
Yeah, it's
There's
scary.
literally a possibility of having a hero power that deals as much damage as you have mana crystals. I actually don't know if there's a way for him to ping a 6, though.
I don't know, because Kael'thas is 7 and it's very difficult to do 1. But yeah, 6 each turn is already pretty good.
I mean, board Dresh is also just playable this turn. I don't think you need to throw it down. It feels a little bit unnecessary, maybe?
You
like-
can't curve your hero power if you are doing it, so maybe you want to wait for the turn 10, have the ability
also-
to curve.
You're also playing into the location.
Yeah.
That's another reason not to do it. You just don't really get that much out of it. So yeah, the 10 damage isn't good enough. You just need to keep developing. But Jarla is going for the scam. What's in the box?
Ah!
Well, our own minion's dead. That's not a good start.
Ignite is also very bad because it is maybe giving you your dance grab even far in the deck.
Alright, solid alibi, not bad. We got an additional skeleton. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could always be better, but in Hearthstone, I like it when I don't have my board get bombed.
I have an idea.
And I guess with a solid alibi, that does prevent damage this turn, but this does kind of give NoHandsGamer a reason to go for card draw, to go for resources. So now Jarla just really needs to find his hero card. It's just pretty much, it really just does come down to whether or not Magister gets drawn.
How many turns would you give to Jarla to find his hero card?
I mean, this Deathborn is going to be pretty good, though. He may take a bit of damage himself, but you've got 6 2/2s now. No Hands has not played his own copy of Deathborn. So that would have been pretty OP. But if you clear the board here, that's what, 12 damage? Oh, wait, but Solid Alibi will prevent that. Solid Alibi into Mordresh Ping? That is 16 damage.
No waves can sink this ship.
Okay, alright. Mass Poly.
Waves can sink this
That
ship.
can get rid of the skeletons and just prevent more ways of Jarla not having damage. Which at this stage of the game is everything. We're really just seeing the weaknesses of 40 card decks being highlighted right now,
Yeah.
especially in the mirror.
What a
Yeah, this is really rough. Jarla has pretty much ways of being able to pop off after Magister gets drawn. But until that happens, is there any way that we can get out of this? You could just go face entirely and just say screw it, you can hit me in the face with your 6. But that really doesn't do much. Like, yeah. Not really a lot of different lines that Jarla can make here.
Time's short.
And No Hands just has so many different directions that he can go. He can go for Scam. He can go for Mordresh. He could even Finley to find more cards if he really wanted to. I feel like he's got that much time.
Yeah. And yeah, on the other time there's a clock on Jarla's head.
Now with Brand in hand too. No way we save Mordresh for that though. Yeah, it's just a turn to pop it off. All of it went face. Oh my god, it missed. That's actually, that would be huge. Aw, man. This game was so unfortunate for Jarla.
Yeah.
Doing the best he can with the small hero power.
But it just seems unfair.
He even has to play the flurry. I mean, oh my god, and now Sire Denathrius off the top. This KT doesn't end it, right? No. KT doesn't have nearly enough skeletons. He's got 6 in him right now. You could just do it for board, though. Do that, you can ping the minion.
Succumb to the eternal cold.
My god. Hold on a minute. Wait. Okay. So,
Wish to match wits
you
with
could
me?
trade the 3/5 into the Mordresh if you end up hitting
Stay where
not
you
that
are.
Frostspell. Exactly not that Frostspell. Oh, okay. Oh, hold on. So you're telling me there's a chance. Because now we can ping the Mordresh. We buff our hero power to 7 damage. It's now more damage to the NoHandsGamers.
Stay where you are.
And we can still freeze this board. Okay. If we top deck Solid Alibi as Jarla, do that into Deathborn, can that potentially win? I mean, we're gonna be taking at least 5 here, or I'm sorry, at least 6.
Mm. 2 pings away for the kill for NoHandsGamer. Oh,
Do you ever just try to find the oh god, the other Reckless?
yeah, it would be this earlier, and it's quite likely to find it.
Oh, but
Oh.
Deathborn as well. Does that do it?
10, it's 10 damage, yeah.
Yeah,
It is,
that'll do it.
It is
We also got
100%.
additional damage with the wildfire. Man, the one turn that Jarla finally got things looking like it was going his way for a slight second, and then NoHandsGamer just comes in and steals it. Well, I mean, I guess this prevented the sweep, so NoHandsGamer is still in it. I still have my K-Kona Pride on the line here. But yeah, that was just the one time that Jarla had maybe something going his way. No Hands just took it back.
Yeah, but okay, just a go next for Jarla. He couldn't have done anything without Dance Grab, so he will just put this game out of his mind and focus on the next one.
Watch your back.
With the Miracle Rogue.
So Rogue and Mage. This is kind of a weird matchup. Because I suspected that this was supposed to be like favored for the Mage. But this game is actually like a lot fairer than a lot of people would usually think. But since Jarla's not playing traditional Miracle Rogue, he's playing Mine Rogue, the game is completely a different matter to behold, because Mine Rogue can kind of go for not only, you know, the gigantic scams with Naval Mine, but in matchups where you're fighting 40 HP decks, you're sometimes reliant on getting the demon value. And if you don't get that, it could be kind of difficult to deal with the amount of... Oh wait, hold on, no. I've got this confused. He's playing the coin version of this deck. Okay, my bad.
Oh.
Sorry, I was talking about a different deck.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking, did I miss something? But it's one of the first version of GamerRvg that went out, even before the buff on Edwin. It was starting to getting popular.
Yeah, I saw a normal rogue, and I'm so used to ladder being mine rogues that's why I internalized that. But then once I saw the sprint, I'm like, oh wait a minute, we're playing coins in this deck. Now I remember. And now that we have sprint in hand, like we might be able to set up like this combo by like turn 6. Easily play that on turn 5. We can support it. Maybe have the Snowfall graveyard already equipped. Yeah, it looks like Jarla is gonna go for it. Oh my god, another sketchy information. Okay, so does okay, hold on a minute. Does Jarla just win? Because he could do this. He could immediately Shroud.
Wow.
If he hits a Shard Shambler and Draka, oh my god. Do you ever just go for it now, or do you wait one more turn? Maybe it's just wait.
But you have to go for sketchy before the shard to give you better odds.
So many.
Yeah, definitely. Like you'd play the second sketchy now to get the 8 coins.
Yeah.
But if you were to hit the Shard Shambler and Draka, then you can play a third Shark, get 4 more coins, and that would just win the game. But let's see, what other minions are still in the deck, though? Jarla seems to be unsure of what to do. He does have Smothering Starfish. He's got, obviously, Edwin. I think those are the only 2 minions that aren't the Shamblers. It's actually very likely that he could have gone for this turn here, but this might be the safer route. So next turn, you have more mana to work with. Maybe you can throw down Sprint. Sprint would actually be kind of nuts, right? Next turn. Yeah, oh my god. Oh, dude, I think he's got it. I think he actually just has lethal here. All we could do is just sit and wait because we can't see this in real time. Oh, he's got the Draka, but he doesn't have. Wait, he doesn't have Shamblers though. Got Edwin. If that finds a Shambler, I think that's GG. My god, all we could do is just sit here and wait. What did he hit off the Edwin? Okay, he hit a backstab.
Yeah.
Shard Shambler pretty much ends it, dude.
Okay, it will be a 2-turn lethal, I think.
Oh, he doesn't find it. Okay, still though, a 15-3 weapon as well as 2 16-16s. Still pretty good.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, No Hands doesn't run a Viper. And Gluttonous Ooze is not in this metagame. Although I think we should bring it back, specifically for this matchup.
It looks bad, yeah.
My K-Kona pride is starting to fade away. I mean, we've got Coin into Blizzard. Do we have enough after that, though? We've got Flurry ready to go. Got Dawngrass. You know, actually, No Hands does kind of have the hand in order to turn this around. But the weapon is really the big thing you have to solve for. Like, you can keep freezing the board over and over again, but if you freeze the board, you forego your the weapon. So these hero powers are so crucial, dude. It's actually amazing that No Hands was able to get both of his amplified Snow Flurries in this matchup. It's making a huge deal right now.
Do you think NoHandsGamer can still win it?
Yep, there it is. Yeah, that's how he can win. which is why he left a spot on the board open. And yeah, there you go, man. I guess that's the reason to play Starfish.
I forgot about that Starfish.
If I'm being honest, I forgot about it too. But you asked the question right when Starfish got drawn, so haha. This is just me waiting for the right time.
Congratulations, yeah, for waiting for it. So, alright, we will see if
Man,
we can.
my K-Kona pride, Like, at the same time, there's nothing that NoHandsGamer could have done about that. That's just Rogue doing Rogue things, and if I'm being honest, I'm kind of sick of Rogue doing the Rogue thing right now. But I still have my K-Kona pride on the line. If GamerRvg can get his win in, come on, man, we gotta get some W for NA today. So I'm gonna hold on to that until that possibility is gone. But still, a fantastic series nonetheless from NoHandsGamer and Jarla.
Yeah. So, I will ask if we can have the players for a post-match interview. At least I can have Jarla.
Yeah, I kind of want to ask some questions about the mage game a little bit. The mage versus like it did was very unconventional to say the least.
Alright, we are calling it right now.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
How's it going, Jarla?
Pretty good.
Yeah, congratulations on your win, man. I just want to go ahead and tell you that your rogue deck is very, very nutty, and I think I got a lot to learn when it comes to analyzing that deck. But congratulations again, on your win, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the deck that was played like 2 weeks ago or something, just with the buffed Edwin. So there's like Edwin instead of Gadget Sans and 1 sprint in that spot. Other than that, it's all list, I think.
Yeah, 5 mana sprint really does go a long way in making that deck seem somewhat consistent. Do you think that if sprint was the way that it used to, that it would still see play in this deck, or is it just perfect at 5 mana?
I think it would be too expensive. Like with 5 mana, it's alright. It's in the Gadget Sans pot, so it could be replaced by Gadget. I'm not sure about it in the deck, to be fair. Because sometimes you have too many coins, and like sprint is only draw 4, while Gadget Sans is like draw your deck. But yeah, it's pretty situational. It's just extra draws to make sure you don't break like every game.
Yeah, well, I think one thing that's kind of interesting about taking out Gadgetzan from the list is that one aspect of the deck that I definitely struggled with was hand size. And if you take out Gadgetzan coin combos, you kind of get rid of that threat because you could just throw out coins, and like kind of like in that game that you had. If we had mana, or if we had the other shroud and we were able to hit the shard, the shamblers, like, oh my god, we could have made a 30 attack weapon like it was nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Mateo, do you have any comments on the set?
On my side, I had a question on the first game. When you're in the mage mirror, you had another coin thanks to the commander, and you saved it for a long time, and finally you managed to pull out the win thanks to hero power, coin, Kel'Thuzad, Bran, and the 10 mana minions. So does it was intended? Did you keep that coin that long for that combo against the priest?
Actually, no. The reason I kept it was because he was at like 20 HP, and I still had box in hand. So it didn't really make sense to coin there, because I can do like the same play next turn, like box again, and then I use the coin, or I can save the coin for later as well. And how it ended up happening, I actually had 2 lethals there. I went for, I was about to go for the Finley and get the more Thresh lethal, but then I actually figure out I have lethal in my hand. So yeah, there was actually multiple ways to win in that turn with the coin as well. But yeah, the reason why I kept it was pretty much for next turn. If I need to box, then I can pink as well after. Because I wasn't really setting up lethal anyway for next turn.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, being able to like set it up more meaningfully versus just coining and just playing all of your mana crystals every turn. Which I can already hear Mee's voice being like, always play for tempo, always play for tempo. But with the mage deck, you kind of have to finesse playing between going for tempo and going for actual lethal, because if you don't have the hero powers adding up, it just doesn't work. I guess one last question that I have for you is, what are your thoughts on the metagame post patch? Are you enjoying playing the decks that are available right now? Are there some decks that you're kind of sad aren't getting the spotlight right now? What's your take on the patch so far?
I mean, I don't mind the meta. There's just the one card that I really hate, which is Theotar. So if we could remove that card, I think I would be happy. But other than that, my favorite deck right now is like Mind Warlock. It's the deck I played the most on ladder. I'm like top 30 with it on EU, doing pretty well. Insta losing to rogues, but beating other decks. So yeah, favorite deck for now, probably Boom Warlock. And meta seems alright.
If you've been playing a lot of Mind Warlock, then it makes sense why you don't like Theotar.
I actually haven't lost to Theotar stealing the combo piece in a long time. But yeah, when I played in Masters Tour, my Mage hero got stolen infinite times, my Shaman hero, and yeah, I can't stand the Theotar card. That's all.
Do you think?
Well, hopefully. Oh, go ahead.
Do you think he's worse than Ilusia?
In my opinion, yes. I didn't really mind Illusia, but this card is like in almost every game now. So yeah.
Is it because it's neutral, or is it the effects that are different that you don't seem to mind?
Kind of both. I think the fact that it's neutral is just worse. If it was for one class, sure, I don't mind, but since it's neutral and it's in almost every deck, I hate it. But yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, interesting take. Everybody has a different take, I think, on this card.
Yeah, I'm actually, like, as a combo player, I don't mind Theotar until it happens to me. Like, it's just one of those things to where I accept it when it happens in actuality, and I'll get mad during the moment. But then I think about all the times that I've played the card, and I've also done discussing things with it, and just especially in just how combo's been ruling Hearthstone for so long, it just feels like one of those necessary evils. But when we get to 5 mana, is something that I wonder how much that would affect the game.
Yeah, think it with Illusia in tournaments, you can just ban Priest and it's gone. But with Theotar, it's in every deck, so you can't really get rid of it.
Yeah, I guess that makes the most amount of sense. Well, Matteo, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, it's still in Theotar subject. NoHandsGamer, in his Quest Priest, has a combo to avoid Theotar stealing his reward. I don't know if you saw it with Priestess Valish. So you can play lots of spell after playing your reward, then Valish to refresh your mana and just playing your reward of the quest. Do you like that tech to avoid Theotar?
I didn't really think about this, so you are actually right. Yeah, I mean, it makes some sense. I don't know if it's good or bad, but yeah, it's probably alright. I haven't played much Priest, so like Quest Priest, so I can't really tell what's good in that list, but yeah, Valish makes some sense for sure.
The only thing about Valish, though, is you kind of have to change the build of your deck, obviously, to, make sure you have enough spells, first of all, to get the Valish value. But NoHandsGamer's list is a lot like lower curve. It's got like double switcheroos. I know some people are playing Amulet, but there's also double Amulet in the deck to just try and get as much value from the minions. I think it's an interesting strategy. I've played it myself, but kind of like what we saw during this series today, Valish was a dead draw in the beginning, in the middle of the series, and if that happens, you really do feel the effects of how one card doesn't really make the deck. And another thing about No Hand's list in particular, the only 8-drop he had was Devout, the hero card. So you have to suddenly draw the only 8 into the only 0 in order to play around this. There's a lot of loopholes that you have to jump through, but I still like the idea of Valish overall. I just don't know what the best list would look like right now.
I'm not sure either, but yeah. Cutting the Whirlpool kind of makes getting the quest reward harder, I guess, because you can also draw the Whirlpool from the Thrive, and then you kind of guarantee the 8 really often. But now with only 1, could be hard.
Yeah, it is. I don't have other question.
Yeah, I'm all out as well. Jarla, thanks for sitting down with us, though, answering some questions. Do you have anything else you'd like to say before we say goodbye?
Not really. Just thanks for casting my match. I hope you guys had fun, and I think you are casting, or someone is casting my match next week as well. So, see you then.
All right.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for playing
Thank
for
you
us.
very much, and good luck for future.
Right.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Next
All right.
up is supposed to be GamerRvg versus Paraducks. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and see if we can get those guys in a game here really quick, so we can peruse over the lineup a little bit while we wait for that.
GamerRvg is back, so he should
Sweet.
start this time.
Don't have to hunt him down this time.
Yeah. I think we won't talk about the lineup anymore. We know them by heart now.
So looking at the lineups, we got GamerRvg with Miracle Rogue, Big Spell Mage, and combo Wig Priest, while Paraducks has Miracle Rogue, XL Spooky Mage, as well as XL Ramp Druid. Just looking at these lineups, I know we were talking about this at the beginning of the stream, that GamerRvg's Priest is probably going to be the deck that's going to give him the most amount of stress trying to get through. Because if you don't queue it into Rogue, Priest has some issues against Mage, and the Druid matchup can kind of be a toss-up on whether or not your opponent ramps out very quickly, right? If whether or not you get your combo sooner rather than later. So GamerRvg is probably going to have to worry about his Priest for sure getting through, as well as his other classes, obviously. While Paradox just seems to be going for more of the traditional standard gameplay, since his Priest was banned, really just leaves him with the 3 best classes in the format right now. So I'm really gonna put my pride on the line, say the Gamer is gonna win this because I want USA to win. But what do you think is gonna be going on with this one?
It's too hard to say for now, but yeah, it will be quite interesting to see also how the Priest from GamerRvg will perform. You were not that I think I heard that you don't like that much the Miracle Priest, so it may be interesting to see if you are wrong maybe.
I mean, I think that I've played the deck, man. I've played the deck, and the biggest thing that I've learned with it, I think I said this earlier, is that it really hits or it really misses. And being able to pick the right cards out of Thrive, being able to draw the right cards is very, very crucial. But one thing that kind of prevents this deck from being insanely meta relevant is the matchups that you have. Like if your opponent doesn't play minions, suddenly your Shadow Word Devour is pretty much just going to be a card to activate your Handmaidens, depending on some situations. So there are some times this deck does great against Rogue and makes a bigger board than them. But if this deck fails, it literally has nothing else that it can do, unless maybe Identity Theft finds you a sweet card. But this deck is just super dependent on switcheroo.
Alright, it started with Paraducks at the bottom of your screen and GamerRvg at the top of your screen.
Alright, so it looks like we've got maybe a Mage Mirror. Let me see if there's any Rogue cards in the mix. And nope, it is actually going to be legit mages. We got GamerRvg on the Big Spell Mage and Paraducks on the XL Spooky Mage. Paradox does have a copy of Demolition Renovator, and if you guys don't know what that card is, it's the 4-mana 4/4 destroy an enemy location card, which GamerRvg is not playing Spooky Mage. He does still have the Nightcloak Sanctum, though. So this might be the first time that I ever see Demolition Renovator, first of all, see play, second of all, maybe get its Battlecry effect off. Oh my god, this is kind of a disgusting hand, though, for GamerRvg. All he needs to do is just draw a big spell and hit a Bard, and this game is looking really good. Paradox does, though, have the double cold case going on to turn 3 into turn 4. So at least he is developing tempo.
Yeah, at least that's something. GamerRvg. Oh, there is Okani that we didn't saw before.
Could play Okani this turn, but I wonder if, yeah, Evoker's the better way to go.
Yeah, because
Yep.
skeletons are likely to kill it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I keep forgetting about the freaking the death rattles on the skeletons for some reason. I keep seeing them as 2/2s in my caster brain. But now there's even more just regular 2/2s that deal no damage, right? And GamerRvg needs to find a bard, honestly. Watch posts came way too late because they were not drawn on turn 2. Turn 3 and turn 4 way too late for the watch post, but you could play them both. Make the next draw very frustrating. And kind of force the trade on the skeletons. Ooh. 8 mana Deathborn. That is massive. Imagine hitting like a it'd be really funny if he drew Mordresh. Then it'd be 10 mana Mordresh. Just like that, Paraducks is working with an unnerfed card. Or I should say unbuffed.
Oh, true, before it cost 10. I forgot about it.
Yeah, nobody remembered Mordresh when he was 10 mana. Completely unplayable.
Yeah, because you can't ping in the same turn. And when you are playing Big Mage, for sure pinging is important.
Second rune. There's... Okay, this is not the smart play. But if you wanted to play Rune ASAP, you could go Bran into Mailbox Dancer, then you have 3 coins sitting in hand. Because you could play the Rune, then you have the Grey Sage Parrot ready to go on turn 7. You wait one more turn of where hopefully you get something that you can do that isn't just box. And then on turn 9, you could box again if it really feels that bad. Do you think there's any merit to that play? Or do you just play Okani?
Oh, okay. So let's see if the Death Rattle will be lucky or not. Because yeah, having the ability to counter a million spell is a lot in that matchup.
Pretty much has to hit a 25%, and nope, immediately denied the first 50-50.
No waves
Yeah.
can sink this ship.
At least Paraducks doesn't have, like, his lethal cards. Like, he's sitting at 51 life, which is not what you really want to see as a big spell mage without dragons. But, I mean... For Paraducks, he just doesn't, like, have, like, actual ways of killing his opponent. Like, we've got both of the Deathborn spells. 1/6, 1/8 mana. We got KT, which has, I think, 4 skeletons that are in the pool right now. And Solid Alibi, which is a card that just stalls, which we don't need to stall. We're massively ahead right now. So I'm kind of wondering, like, if GamerRvg went for the double coin play, maybe that could have, like, started to put him ahead to where he could have won this. But now he still has the option of going Bran into Mailbox Dancer, to where he could set up the triple box turn now instead of the double box turn. All right, looks like he's going for it.
Yeah, but trading into Deathborn is quite great.
He definitely got to kill that Bran.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. You could throw out the 8 mana spell, but you still get your value nonetheless.
Kel'Thuzad is starting to grow already. It will be
Alright,
at
well-
7.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's too greedy. Oh, you can't do that now. Oh man, that bard literally showed its face at the worst time. Because what are you gonna do? Throw out your coins, play bard, and then be sad when you hit the 8 mana Deathborn? Nah, you just gotta play your rune. Wait,
No,
oh wait,
that's
wait, he played bard. He played bard and it actually hit. Oh my god.
I bring them
Wow.
Dude, he is so lucky. Oh my god, he is so lucky. Okay, you wanna know what? It's really not that lucky. He had a 3, a 2, a 0, and an 8 that he could have stolen from.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not that unlucky, but oh dude, if I would have played that, I guarantee you I would have hit the 8 drop every time. It's not even up for negotiation. Oh no, the ignite. The ignite can screw up with the Oh god, it already did. It actually screwed up the Ice Blood Tower.
That's not that
So
bad
now he
because you don't have 3 big spells. So having just infinite ignite is okay.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather have dragons right now?
Yeah, but you will have them one day.
Succumb
Yeah, one day is not right now though. I want my dragons and I need them now.
Well, I understand that point also.
Yeah, I need my dragons in order to beat up these skeletons right now. Like oh man, how do we get out of this? I guess we just gotta hit an AoE off of the rune, but if we end up hitting our own Deathborn out of the randomness, that's gonna deal a decent amount of damage to us. Okay.
Oh, ignite again.
Second ignite. Now there are 2 ignites that it can get hit. Mordresh, okay. We don't have damage dealt with our hero power yet. Snap freeze. Alright, flame strike. Let the damage ensue.
Oh, nothing went into the elemental.
Okay, well, if there's a time to hit dragons, we kind of need them now. Like, Paraducks does have the solid alibi and the freeze mechanics in order to stall. But that's all that he can do is just stall it. Oh my god, this is why I hate this deck! We needed dragons. We got one more shot with the last rune. 9 mana draw 2. Oh my god. Well, if there is a time to hit double Pyroblast from rune, now would be the time. Guitar? Okay.
Alright.
Taking
Mordresh.
Mordresh?
Oh, no Mordresh.
So you have to take solid alibi, I guess. At least you can give them the useless card, but that still kind of sucks. Theotar could have stolen... I guess Mordresh was the only really good card. I was looking at Varden as well, but that doesn't really matter all too much. At least none of the players have their hero card, so GamerRvg can still feel like he has a chance of being able to pull this around. And now that he's got dragons, that chance is significantly increased, although the dragons aren't as high attack as they could be. Still, though, something is good.
They are finally here.
Our Mordresh in hand for GamerRvg is sitting just as a dead card, though. Barely gotten the value out of it yet. But Paraducks, as a deck that actually wants to get the value out of Mordresh more times than not, is only sitting at 8 triggered so far. So this is looking really rough for him in particular. Grey Sage Parrot brings back a Deathborn, if I remember correctly. Doesn't really help out here much.
As a secret news, did you already tried the counter spell?
works against me.
So now GamerRvg doesn't have minions anymore. Or doesn't have meaningful minions.
Has a ship. We saw in the last BO how important ships can be. Oh,
Well, but there's another parrot.
but oh, you don't want to pirate when you already have the board, because it will clear your own board and you will be like, oh, fuck RNG, but it might be because you didn't play at the right time.
I mean, what else can you do here, though, for GamerRvg? You can play Secrets, you can play... Yeah, it's like you can play a secret or you can play box. I feel like you just kind of have to play the box, right? Because you need to do something. Maybe you could be patient, but I don't know how much time you can afford to wait. The only thing that's saving GamerRvg right now is the fact that Paraducks does not have a hero power that is massive. Only gets one dragon. Oh my god.
Time runs out on me.
Okay, there we go. At least we had a wildfire. And Frozen Touch is actually kind of nuts too. Because now you can hit your own minion, or actually, yeah, you can hit your own minion with the ping, and then play Smothering Starfish if they end up freezing the board here. And this is 17 attack total on the board if you're able to hit it with everything. But I guess if everything gets frozen, you got to kill something. That'd be 16 then.
All right.
Oh wait, there's Reckless. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have Mordresh possible now. But we have to not die. That's the most important thing, is not dying. You could play Euro Solid Alibi. That would actually be kind of busted. Solid Alibi into Reckless. You could actually put your opponent at 10. But I guess if you put them at 11, you can still do the same thing, right?
Yeah. Okay, you're denying the throttle.
I don't really know if we needed to play the Starfish here. But
Still-
I get, you know, actually no, this was correct, because the last thing that we want is for these things to go face. We don't have the capability of playing Ice Barrier, and even if we did, there's no minion on the field in order to trigger it. So this does make sense in order to stop the damage from going face and maybe preventing a lethal out. But if Mordresh gets stolen, oh my god, it didn't. Oh. But he could give him a Mordresh. Oh, man. Okay,
Yeah.
so there was... Yeah, I don't think there's actually a way that Paraducks can get out of this.
Yeah, because he...
If you...
Oh, he has to play the solid alibi.
Oh, wait, yeah, there's still another solid alibi. Oh, but he
yeah.
didn't play it!
Didn't
Oh,
play it.
no! He didn't know.
But I think it was correct. Whatever.
I think it was correct, too, because, like, you didn't see the Mordresh in hand. Like, it's just caster vision, like, we knew that he had it kind of deal. But, dude, like... The other thing that kind of sucked about that was the timing of the silence, actually, because if that damage would have been able to go face, then maybe the solid alibi would have just been played regardless, ping him in the face, and then you could set up a 2-turn lethal that way. But unfortunately for Paraducks, the scam mage is going to do some scamming, and the spooky mage is now out of the equation. Probably going to see Ramp Druid up next if I had to put my money on the
because
class.
it was a counter queue from NoHandsGamer on the last PO, so yeah, it is here also as a counter queue, but as we saw, it's not a guaranteed kill on the mage, so let's see if Paraducks will be more lucky. Maybe he will be able to find Guff.
I don't know. I'm seeing a far watch post in our hand being able to be played on turn 2. Oh my god, double! Oh no! He must be hello. Oh my god! I don't want to support this behavior, but I gotta stand by my country right now. Disgusting start. Paraducks is gonna have to ramp a lot of mana to prevent this from soloing the game, because I think this is actually the only deck in Standard that can make use of Far Watch Post. Or I should say the only deck that does make use out of it. Because you could put this in any deck, but would you, though? Living Seed? Does that draw a beast? There are no beasts in the deck, so you can't pick that. Oh wait, there's Smothering Starfish. Never mind. Oh wait, that card is a beast.
I knew it because of the amalgam, because you can target it.
I was looking at the list and I saw Smothering Starfish and I was like, oh wait a minute, that's just a Naga, right? That's a Naga card. Well, I mean, even though you did discount it by 1, it's still 3 mana now. And now all your cards are gonna cost 2 more mana. And as a druid, not oh no oh we're seeing the new nerfs. We're seeing the nerfs before they're released. 7 mana Guff.
But okay, at least he's here, so you will be able to play him on 6.
Waves can sink this
Or
ship.
even on 5, because you will gain an empty mana crystal thanks to the Seedsman.
That Living Seed drawing the Smothering Starfish is actually very clutch here. Because now, if this does hit Nourish, or if this does hit Wild Growth, then suddenly 7 mana Guff isn't bad. Oh man, it's like a dark look into the future. Or I guess a positive look, depending on how you enjoy Guff. GamerRvg though does have the potential trade into Evoker turn. Oh, now he has Belinda on 6. Silence already played from Paraducks. Is there ever a reason that you don't draw now? Because if you end up drawing a big spell, you have 2 out of 4 of them in your hand, and if you top deck another one, then Belinda doesn't get full value. Is that ever a reason to not play Evoker this turn? Still like playing Evoker anyway.
Not having full value of Belinda is not
It
great,
was-
but
Time runs out on me.
Only the thing you can really do is ping into 2-drop. Which I guess isn't terrible, because you can clear the board fully anyway. Which I think is actually what he's going for.
yeah. And you have the 2/3 to fill out the curve.
If you think about it, this also sets up Belinda with the Frost Hero power as well. That could be kind of massive. Okay, well, it's Guff every single time here.
Yeah.
And it's actually very
Whoa.
close to the 9 mana crush point. Oh, whoa, really?
It's not Guff.
I mean, I guess this makes sense.
Do you take
You've got
me for
Nourish
your
into
enemy?
Wild Growth. And you know that, okay, you didn't know this was happening, but you suspected, as Paraducks, that GamerRvg might play a big minion this turn. So now, if he hits... Oh, he needs to hit more value out of Planted Evidence.
The only small spell that you can play now is not great. Living Seed.
Is that enough now? Or is he a little bit off? Because if you can still play 0 mana Living Seed into Nourish Wild Growth, then that's enough. But I didn't see how much mana he started with this turn.
You can do it, you have the mana. Because Nourish is also giving you 2 mana crystals, so you can do it.
No, but you're at 5 though. So you don't have enough mana.
Nourish
have to
plus
gear
composting is fine.
Oh, I didn't see Composting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can Composting.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So I have Paraducks upside down on my, on
Oh.
my perspective.
Okay.
Why I
Okay.
didn't see it. But yeah, Composting, also summoning another minion. Huge to get rid of the Belinda card.
Time goes short.
Which is just the reason why Topiary was the way to go.
Yeah.
Because we can still play Guff later. We got the other GamerRvg, so we can end up drawing the second Nourish.
It was well played from Paradox to go for Topiary instead of the Nourish.
He did it kind of quickly too. So like, I gotta definitely applaud I gotta give credit where credit is due, because I would have probably just slammed Guff, because it's like, it's Guff. You gotta play the Guff as soon as possible, right? And this also does kind of open up the conversation where it's like, if Guff does get mana nerfed, it can make a really big difference.
Yeah.
For literally for what we just saw right here.
Because yeah, he's still not under Guff. And here it will be a Devourer turn, I think.
Oh hey, 10 mana giant. That looks like a solid turn. Yeah, but speaking of solid, these minions are getting pretty much eaten solid. There's no chewing in this Devourer's schedule.
1822. You have lots
Southern
of...
Starfish does solve this though, or you could just freeze it.
I like freezing it at the moment. And just play your other card. Because maybe
19.
later you will have even better target for Starfish, while on the Sanctum you have 3 use of it, so just using 1 use is fine right now.
I don't think there's another. Okay, no, there is another composting. Plus, you could make the argument that like Ibis could be silenced. So yeah, like I think I'm in the same boat, because you could have also argued that instead of spending the mana on the 2/4 and a ping, you could have played the Evoker and gotten essentially not going to be a dead draw going into next turn, and you can gain armor while doing it. So I wonder if Evoker was just the better way to potentially give us better consistency through card draw.
Oh, this innovator, great with Topio effect.
See her mana 3/3 with Rush? Sign me up. Okay, there's Earth and Scale, so you can fit in another one. And you can pretty much clear 3 minions this way.
You have another composting in hand. So
Yeah, but your hand is kind of full, though.
Yeah.
You really want to play it.
take
the rune, take it away!
Yeah, what is doing Reckless with Guff? Do you know?
Okay, so I've actually tested this. It does the draw hero power every time.
Oh.
It doesn't have like a 50-50 roll, and the reason why that's the case is because the first choose one is what it goes off of. It just doesn't. I find it weird that it doesn't like flip a coin to where you can maybe gain mana, maybe draw cards, but nah, you just strictly draw cards.
All right, great to know.
I found that out the hard way. You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, so different option for GamerRvg. Did he play the Dragon spell from hand? So can he repeat it? Can he repeat it with the parrot?
Yeah, I think he did play that from hand. Yeah, because it came out from the Belinda, so you can get another amount of. You can get dragons this turn, but if you do that, there's nothing else you can really accomplish here. Like,
Yes.
You can't freeze the board, so I feel like he wants to potentially set up for that.
A rune?
I think Rune is just still gonna have to be the way. Your opponent's at 15. You have to try and kill them, right? Before they start doing insane things with
Time runs out on me.
with Earth and Scales. Which now say Earth and Scales out loud. That's probably the reason why he played Starfish, was to try and prevent that from being a thing. Oh my god, damage. Okay.
That's damage, yeah. You are talking about it.
Okay.
Oh, 6?
Just need a fireball now.
No waves can sink this ship.
Okay, he didn't went for the ping 1 damage. There is still the Earth and Scales plus Naga Giant combo in Paraducks hand. I think we might see it this turn.
So no, dude, Denathrius has just been MIA the entire time, just completely AWOL. Because like, if we would have had like some healing here with all of these Topior draws, it would have been insane. We need to hit like I think another Earth and Scales because we're probably gonna play the giant into Earth and Scales this turn.
Yeah.
If we have the possibility.
You have to do it, I think. Oh, the Natress is here finally.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
And there are still lots of minions on the board, so they will still get lots of infuse. 7 at least.
Fortunately, he is board locked. But there's really no way to play around that at this point. You kind of had to do. I mean, I guess if you wanted to not play the Oracle.
But whatever, if you are just getting your board frozen, the Natress effect would be only 5 damage, so being board locked is not a big issue because you want your board to be cleared because you can play the Natress. If he's just froze, you just lose the game.
I guess also like the mage isn't setting up an obvious turn 2 lethal.
By my calculations, you need to chill out.
So with Theotar and this board, there is 10 damage available.
You
So what's
take
most likely gonna have to happen now that Paraducks really can't do anything with the board here is that GamerRvg might just have to go all in for the rune and just hope that it's enough.
the Natress is safe here from Theotar.
Oh, there's an Ibis. Would have loved to have Earth and Scaled that.
Okay, Moonlight for Earth and Scales.
Must be the way.
Ha, no scales.
Was the only out that Paradox had this turn. Was trying to find more life here.
The smallest seed.
Do you ever just take the draw and just? Well, actually, no. You don't have the mana now. You
Yeah.
can't even do that. All right, is this gonna be what's in the box?
8 on board.
More Dredge is not active. That can't win the game here.
Yeah, you have to box here.
Do you ever just raid boss? Maybe no, because you need to go face with these minions. Yeah, you gotta box it, dude. Does Parrot have the box in it? I think it does. Because if it does, then you can play Reckless into Parrot.
Wait, not all of them.
Oh man, looks like he's going for it. Cards are gonna get overdrawn as well.
Earth and Scales maybe.
RIP Scales.
And also, so it gives you next turn active Mode Rush. Okay, Jerry is fine.
What's in the box?
I hate it.
Oh no! It's already amazing. It's already amazing.
Wow.
Oh my god! Did it win? Oh, okay, it didn't win. Nah, what am I talking about? That solid alibi won the game already. Oh, dude, you can't. I mean, you could play Denathrius and heal from the minions, but I don't even think Denathrius is even that much. Yeah, he's only got 10 damage in him right now.
You have
Oh,
also
dude, it's not gonna be enough. Oh wait, but yeah, I guess you could do that, so that gives him 5 more.
yeah.
So you could at least gain the life, but at the same time, you're not even going to be gaining the full 15, I don't think. 1, 2, 10. Yeah, you're not even going to be gaining the full 15, depending on what happens here. Only 1 damage goes to the mage portrait, and I actually don't know how this works. If Mordresh will deal 1 damage to Jaina and then the rest of the damage goes elsewhere.
No, you can have 16 going to Jaina because... Oh, okay. Oh, weird. I saw it was like a pew-pew effect.
Okay, so 2... Yeah. So it's...
Yeah, only a 14 went to Guff.
I mean, it's pretty good. And if exactly Mordresh wasn't in hand, this would be amazing because then you'd be gaining life back as well. But I think this is the only life gain that Druid's going to have now, and their main win con is also gone. So you have to win with big boards, it looks like.
Yeah, it's still one scale, right?
There's still one what?
Earthen scale that is giving you armor.
Yeah, and you have, I think, you have a second giant that's still in the deck as well. You also have Insatiable Devourer, which now you're kind of playing into. I guess if you would have played Mordresh, yeah, never mind. This is fine. I think you just play Mordresh, and then you can play raid boss on whatever comes down to destroy the Mordresh. Now GamerRvg is... I mean, if we're playing for the late game, Paraducks is going to lose. Like, if we go to Fatigue, he just loses because GamerRvg has more cards than he does and more life.
Yeah, for sure, but also about resources, GamerRvg doesn't have that much resource, still one Mordresh, one Amulet, and one Rune, but after that, nothing. But yeah, that's already quite.
Why didn't Reckless pop off? Reckless didn't draw many cards. It actually didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And there was one minion on the field plus the face.
Good question.
Yeah, that I know for a fact that interaction used to work. So I wonder if this is a bug or if... I mean, even if you've already used the hero power, it should still work. Yeah, I'm confused here. That should have worked. I've literally had this happen to me several times. Whatever. Well, it's not going to be the reason why GamerRvg... Well, actually, no. Hold on a minute. No, this could be the reason why Paradox could win. Because he's suddenly 2 less cards into Fatigue. If that interaction worked the way that it did, he'd be for sure overdrawing soon. And oh my god, Gamer milled the hero
Wow. That's huge.
Is in the box, not Varden.
Here it is, finally.
Ah, man. Okay, so again, that Reckless Apprentice not drawing 2 cards is very relevant, to say the least. Because now we got a big boy Ivus. I don't think there's any way to deal with that except to just freeze it over and over and over again.
But yeah, it will be lots of health point if he doesn't get killed.
Because we don't have any more accesses to Rune to the Archmage. We played both Parrots, we played both Runes.
Yeah.
Starfish has already been played. Do we run a second copy? We do not. Oh my god, how does Gamer kill this 33-33? Maybe... Okay, hold on. Maybe you don't. Like, you've got the freeze this turn into Sanctum. And then you have amplified Snow Flurry to go in between one of the Night Cloak Sanctum's cool-off turns. So you can essentially freeze this thing 3 turns in a row. Or actually 4 turns in a row,
Runs out on me.
including this turn. Might actually be possible for him to kill this down the line too, which is kind of nutty.
What happened?
Okay, so he played Bard and it switched the original spell that got switched to begin
Oh
with.
yeah.
So the amulet just cost... Wait, hold on a minute. Yeah, okay, yeah, never mind. He just switched the 10 back.
Yeah, it's back to 10.
I thought something else happened. How good is this? I really was not expecting to see the Bard come down here. Wait, I didn't even notice the scale top deck. Oh god. Oh, how does Gamer get out of this now? Now the life advantage is gone.
Yeah, but there is still the... Oh, no, for the fatigue advantage. 4 cards against 2 cards. So, quite close.
Yeah, it's also, yeah, it is 2 cards versus 4 cards, but it's also 34-26 versus no board. And it's like you could keep freezing that. You could keep freezing that, but it's not gonna solve the problem down the line. Like these dragons need to be very impressed. Oh wait, he's got one more rune. Oh god. Okay, never mind. I am all over my casting today. I apologize. Oh my god, he hit a transform. Oh no, that actually might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Okay, so I thought there was no more.
Wow, destroyed. Not even a transform, just got destroyed.
I don't know how I missed the parrot in hand. I need to go back to casting school, I think.
Oh.
But I think it's pretty safe to say that Paraducks is running out of win cons.
But there is still the Devourer.
I mean, you can eat the 4/5, but then what?
Not right now. You have to wait for the Drake Fire, but I think GamerRvg will wait for the Devourer to play his amulet.
Put the polymorph jellyfish into Mordresh on the same turn. Clear whatever big minion that comes down. Yeah, this is looking like a Hail Mary play. Paraducks just gonna go for the maximum amount of board. Play the 8/8 as well. It's not that bad of a board until you factor in that this is his last last stand.
Tease, yeah. Okay, this time there is not another rune. It was really the last one.
Maybe he's thinking about spreading out his resources and playing around Mordresh. Feels bad though. Mordresh, easy play here. Set up the Amplified Snow Flurry. And now with the Devourer in hand, that is going to get doubled by the brand. You just turn it into a jellyfish and that's GG. Ah, dude, what a close game.
Yeah.
There are actually a lot of back and forths that happened here. But when Big Spell Mage plays, when they play Watch Post on turn 2 and turn 3, it's, yeah, that's how these matches tend to go.
So, a second time where Druid lost against Mage.
Like, this is just what happens when you're able to tech your decks in Last Hero Standing, right? I mean, because, again, Paradux's list is super, super greedy. Like, with the Naga Giants, like, a lot of people just want to go for more immediate damage combos rather than trying to build up a board. I still think that this deck is correct, but Big Spell Mage is just a scam deck at the end of the day. And we played, I think, was it 5 runes or was it just 4? I think it was just 4 runes, actually. But we found every single scam that we needed to win.
Yeah, that Ivy's got destroyed. It was pretty sad.
I mean, this is just like almost the perfect mulligan, right? For Mage. On coin, nonetheless. 1, 2, pass 3, maybe top deck Sanctum on 3, Evoker on 4, coin Belinda. This is the rogue matchup, though. So how consistently can we scam the rogue. Probably not too well. Maybe we get rid of Belinda for that choice, but I don't like getting rid of Belinda, man. Especially on coin. That's too good. Okay, so we actually might be able to see Silverleaf Poison in action in this game. To see how effective it can be. But to be honest, I feel like in this matchup, it's not going to matter all too much. Probably going to be a hero power into Silverleaf turn on turn 3. If you end up awakening the rogue within you this turn. Doesn't look like it'll be the turn this turn, though.
Silverleaf already in hand, so we'll see if it is.
Traded
will be useful.
Trade to door gives you 0 mana nulls, right? Because you've traded twice now.
Yeah, true.
Wait, now you only have 1 mana nulls, right? Because we didn't draw another card.
You can't always trust what you see.
Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, the nulls are at 1. That may not be a huge. That may not make a huge difference, but it can sometimes be unfortunate.
That's right.
I guess if you're getting added coins into your hand, though, then you don't really miss the mana. This has to be a Silverleaf turn, right? There's nothing else that you can really do. Alright, well, if these extra card draws end up winning the game, then I'm going to change my mind on Silverleaf Poison. Ooh, prep. Okay. Good. That's not just a dead draw next turn. That's amazing. But now you got to deal with Belinda coming from GamerRvg. Yeah, why would I ever suggest getting rid of this card in the mulligan, especially when we have the Mailbox Dancer? Ugh. Disgusting. Play Dragons on 5. Yeah, this is looking very very dunzo.
Yeah, I don't know how Paraducks will go
So you
through.
can play the location, play the shroud, somehow make 30 attack weapon with regular Miracle Rogue. That's how we win. Oh, he does have 0 mana nulls. Oh no, he didn't hit. Okay, this is looking really bad. Kind of got to go all in here.
You can throw Null to have the infuse.
Oh, he does get the infuse value. Okay, let's see what we can find. Maybe another 0 mana card. Well, technically that's 0 thanks to prep.
Yeah. At least you killed Belinda finally. But you...
9/9.
Yeah, it's not that big when you will face dragons, rune. It's not enough.
Armor gain as well.
Yeah, and your hand is empty.
You can trade the 9/9 Tooth and Nefarian into Shadow Word Death the 8/8. Easy.
That's all. Crap.
Yeah,
I
Paradox note.
Didn't even went for it, but yeah.
Oh, dude, Mage has just been slaughtering today.
Yeah, 5-1 for Mage.
That's kind of ridiculous to say the least.
Yeah.
I've honestly been I've been trying to avoid playing Mage because of how I guess monotonous it can be at times just to press hero power over and over and over again. But I mean, that's the one thing that's kind of interesting about Mage as well, is that we're seeing multiple archetypes. But the hero power Mage it's just too good to ignore.
I didn't even play Mage because, yeah, I don't. It doesn't seem quite fun to play, but maybe I should give it a try. Yeah.
Maybe if you like winning, it'll be fun. Like if you just want to focus on winning, because I know like somebody went like 20-1 going into top 200 legend with the deck, or like with some version of Spooky Mage. But yeah, if you want to win right now, just play mage because apparently even in matchups where druid is 60% favored, both times druid struck out. That's kind of baffling.
Yeah, because it was both time, it's meaningful because okay, just one time I would have said it's just a high roll, but twice.
Yeah, kind of nutty to say the least.
Alright, so let's see if the players are open for a post-match interview before we close this stream.
I'm at least happy that America got one win today. As long as America maintains a 50% or better, I'm a happy caster. I'm a happy American. Proud American, if you will.
Great. Alright, send the question to the players.
I think Paraducks might make some jokes about 7 mana guff, but other than that, other than that druid versus mage game, he just didn't really have that many choices in this series, unfortunately. I will definitely say though that my opinion on big spell mage is kind of changed for sure.
Okay, just got them. They should join very soon.
I think we got Paraducks with us. Can you hear us, Paraducks?
Right. Do you guys have my good mic or not?
Yeah,
That sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry I couldn't give you guys a longer series. I tried. I did.
Yeah, with that druid match, I definitely know that you were trying your hardest to play every single out. Like that was a pretty good Hearthstone match going back and forth.
I know. It's like I was sitting there like for most of like that third game because in that third game there was nothing. There was nothing I could do. I just drew like absolute garbage. But it's like in the first 2 games, I'm sitting there and I'm like, is there anything I could have done differently? I think in the mage game there probably wasn't that much I could do. I just do really poorly. And in the druid game, I probably could have timed Theater a bit better. I was trying to like snipe Magister Dawngrasp and failed. Like Magister Aura 5 mana rune. Instead I got 9 mana one, and I was like, I mean, Reckless Apprentice was probably better, but then when you see the stupid rune that deleted my Ibis, it's like, did I make the right choice? I don't know.
Yeah, you were looking pretty good until that last rune came down. Gamer, what was your perspective like until that rune came down to kill the Ibis?
Yeah, for most of that game, because that game was actually an intense one. That one, I felt like I was in a fine spot. Most of the game, I felt like I was pushing the tempo. I knew I had to deal with Ibis eventually because I knew like when I was getting to the later stages, that was the only way for him to win. But I was confident that my box could do enough. A lot of the time, it does there, so I wasn't necessarily worried. The only thing that I'm looking back on that I noticed during the game is like, I definitely should have gone for the bot. Like when I just took the stall turn, like, and I played the, and I just like played some first flames on it or whatever. I should have definitely.
Yeah, you should have just went for box.
I should have gone for the box that turn because like there's a chance where I draw cards, but I also deal with the minion, which is a lot better. Like if I do that one turn later and he gets that 33 health, like I could end up getting fatigued. Where if I deal with it that one turn and he doesn't get that armor again, he's not going to be able to fatigue me. He just doesn't have enough health. So
yeah. You didn't have Bran, by the way, right? When you went for Mordorus, you didn't have Bran?
No. I mean,
No,
I thought as much. I was sitting there and I was like, why would you not go for 20 there? It's like the only reason you got
when I went for Mordresh, I mean, I knew the game's 100% over. It's not even.
Yeah, the game was over for sure. That's just like one of those like other things in the back of my mind that plagues you. But honestly, I don't think there was much I could have done. Like, you drew okay, and I just drew terribly.
Yeah, I think that was very, very obvious to tell in some situations. But there was There was one thing I wanted to point out, and that was actually the interaction with Reckless Apprentice and the Guff Hero Power. I remember very, very vividly that interaction used to work. That the Reckless Apprentice would draw a card for every single target that it could throw the Hero Power at, and it actually didn't happen this series at all. And when Earthen Scales got cast for like 30 HP, I thought that was going to be like the way that you were going to win from that point. But the Reckless Apprentice not getting value was weird to me.
It was the only way I was coming back. I didn't know the interaction. I assumed it would just fizzle. But like honestly, in hindsight, I probably should have just picked Rune in that position. I just didn't think in like 6 turns from there I would potentially lose to just Rune on Ivers. Like I just didn't consider that was my out. Which that's on me. That's on me. I played poorly, but I think in like the Mage and Rogue game there was just nothing I could do. Like I just did really poorly in both of those games.
Definitely not in the Rogue game.
Yeah, dude. Like we're seeing the Rogue game on stream now. I'm sitting here for like 4 turns, and I'm like, is this deck good? This deck does not feel good. And I hate Rogue. Rogue is my least favorite class. And then when I open Door Prep and then Wicked Stab and Silverleaf Poison, and then you just have like Belinda on 5. It's like, okay, dude. Okay. Nice game.
Belinda on 4, actually.
Even better. But yeah, you see what I mean, right? It's just nothing I can do.
If you're gonna draw badly, that'd be the game to draw badly against. But at the same time, going into round 5 or into set or game 5 into the set, then yeah, that's it's never gonna feel good.
Yeah, AtomiK can tell me like tiebreakers don't matter, right? Like it doesn't matter if you like win your games 3-2 or 3-0 in this.
I don't know. I don't have all the tiebreakers, but I think it's the last tiebreakers. Like if you are tying all the precedent tiebreakers, I think it's the last one.
Right, okay. Because yeah, I know obviously it's like best records make it in top 2. I was just curious if like if losing 3-0 is like mega bad, because that actually does affect queue order. I just queued Mage first because that was like my favorite deck in the lineup to play, which is kind of dumb, but it is what it is.
Yeah, one thing I actually wanted to ask you, Paraducks. Miracle Rogue lists have been, I guess, not necessarily struggling to find a 30th card, but there's been a lot of different takes on what that 30th card is. I've seen second Sinister Strike. You're running, let's see, the poison. Yeah, the Silverleaf Poison. And I've even seen somebody else run cards like Reconnaissance. Do you think that the 30th card in Rogue it should just be a Sinister Strike for just consistency, or do you think like these other check choices actually matter at the end of the day? Because you're the first person that I've seen run the Silverleaf Poison.
Right, I'll be honest. So for people who've seen my Twitter last week, you would have known that for like the last week I've just been in London. I haven't touched the game since the balance patch came out, so I mostly just copied the GM list and then just like put in my own like spicy ideas that I thought like could be good. The Silverleaf Poison probably could be something else. It's just my theoretical mindset is that this deck is just so reliant on having a decent age opener that you kind of just need the extra card draw for when you don't draw well. But honestly, you could probably get a better card than Silverleaf Poison for sure. Like, I don't think Recon is that card. Sinister Strike is probably fine. I would need to log more games on the deck, but I don't want to because I really don't like this deck.
I would somewhat agree with that. I try not to play Rogue and I try not to play Mage for those exact reasons, but I still love Guff. I guess my last question to you guys is, what do you think about 7 mana Guff after seeing it in action? Do you think that Blizzard's going to potentially change the mana cost of the card? Should we keep him at 5? What are your takes on Guff?
I'll tell you what. Like 7 mana Guff isn't that bad when your opponent isn't trying to kill you. Like there was at least like 2 turns I was just sitting there. I was just trying to play Guff and I just couldn't because I knew that I would just fall too far behind. And I think I got around to it like turn 8 with Theatar in the same turn.
Gamer, what do you think of a 7 mana Guff?
Yeah, I mean, 7 mana Guff would be a way to go about it. I mean, I've always thought the more interesting thing, the way to go, because I do think it needs a nerf to like spice up the meta, because I think it definitely, that and like Dawn Rest, those like 2 specific hero cards are very, very toxic in the meta. They very much define it. They can just like nerf the mana cost by 2. I think the more interesting way to go about it that I've seen discussions with is like gaining empty mana crystals instead of like real mana crystals, because it actually has a pretty significant effect. You might not realize it, but once you start playing with it, you'll see like, oh, I can't make this play because I didn't get the one extra, like I didn't get that 1 mana from ramping, because a lot of times it's ramp and then play your exact amount of mana for it, where otherwise you have to kind of decide, hey, do I want to ramp, not gain the mana, and then do like a worse play, or do I have to forgo the ramp this turn? And I think that might be a more interesting gameplay approach. I think people might have more decisions, where if you just nerf the mana, it's just like, oh, now I have to play it on 7 instead of 5.
Hey,
Yeah,
would
I mean, on that point, right? Like, anytime you don't play Guff on 10-5, it basically costs 4 mana because you just gain the mana instantly anyway. So like,
yeah.
even if you nerf it to 7, it still technically costs 6. So I think empty mana crystals would be better for sure.
Yeah, maybe you don't do both nerfs to where you don't increase his mana cost and change how you gain mana with it. And I think I would actually agree with this as well. This is something that a lot of people have been talking about. But kind of like what Gamer was saying, it honestly would create a lot more decisions versus, oh yeah, I'm obviously going to press the hero power every single turn. Why wouldn't I? And that's the big thing that needs to be solved for, is we need a reason to not do it. And it, like, honestly, just if we're going to nerf Guff, that's going to be the way to do it. So that way we have more choices that get made at the end of the day. And so we're not just, ramping to 16 and then just destroying turn 5s and turn 6s every other game.
Well, what we need like another balance patch. We need it like yesterday. This is not good. Like, I was okay with the last meta. Like, we have Mulligan, please.
Control Shaman was also so much fun, man. Like,
yeah, that deck was cool. I didn't think they needed to nuke Snowfall. Whereas, like, you don't even need to nuke Snowfall. Like, just change McCaw. McCaw is the offender here. Like, literally, all you needed to do to make Shaman perfectly fine was make McCaw have the text of, quote, copy the last battle cry of the card that's like 5 or less, so you can't abuse it with the Denathrius or Snowfall Guardian. The deck is fine. The deck is perfectly fine when you do that.
You still got Vulner high rolls. Like, you still have lots of ways of being able to get like other Denathrius value. Like, because with like Kael'thas combos, like there's still a way to do nutty things with it if you were to nerf Macaw. I think I would definitely agree with that. The one thing that makes me sad is that Murloc Holmes had one deck that he actually was good in, and now he just doesn't have a deck that he can see play in. And I want justice for Murloc Holmes. He worked so hard being a detective. He needs at least one deck where he can find a home.
Yeah. Oh, well. But yeah, GG's Gamer. Obviously, pretty good for the MTOG regardless of result, because it turns out the MTOG is just like half of the roster in this tournament. Like, it's 3 of us in Group A. I think it's like 3 of us in Group C. Like, I think Bunny's like the only one in Group B, and I think like there's at least 2 or 3 of us in Group D. So either way, MTOG is still going to be doing well in this tournament.
Yeah, make sure you guys are keeping score, and then do like some kind of like bet where it's like if you guys end up getting more points or whatever. Like, I don't know, make it interesting. Make the matches matter that much more,
That actually might be fair. I'll bring that up in chat actually after this. But yeah.
GG's.
Mateo, do you have anything else that you'd like to say?
Nothing
Any
more.
other questions?
No, I am ready to end. If you have something to add, one of you.
Nah, I think we talked enough about the meta and whatnot. I'm pretty like I'll end with this. I think that we definitely need some balance changes. Obviously to Rogue, probably to Druid, and definitely to Mage. The meta was looking really, really cool before this balance patch came in and made Rogue the absolute powerhouse that it is. And I would like to play Paladin personally. I would like to see one playable Paladin deck.
Don't get me
But-
started on Pan, and they butchered my boy. And then they put in balance changes. Like I literally put this like the moment the changes came out. The changes do nothing.
They really
Nothing.
don't.
It's like Blizzard. People clear Silvan recruits regardless if they've taunt or not. It doesn't matter if you give them taunt; they're gonna die anyway. Please. Just give us more paladin cards that are actually playable.
It feels like what Rush War or what Enrage Warrior is right now, where it has the groundwork put in. It just needs, the rest of what a house needs. It needs it just needs more support.
You know what it needs? Here's a really good idea. We print Impending Catastrophe for Paladin, but for Sylvan recruits.
Okay. That'd actually be kind of cool. I wonder how much that would break Wild, though. That would destroy Wild without Paladin.
No, but you make it 2 mana. Same as Impending Catastrophe for Imps. And then now with the 4 mana Stand Against Darkness, you have 6 mana, draw 5. And 5 1/1s.
Okay.
And
that's a good combo. That could actually make Paladin decent.
also you had a location that is giving +1/+1 for each silver hand.
I don't mind the Paladin location, actually. The
Zoo
Paladin location isn't
Paladin.
that bad, but yeah. I get what you mean.
I mean, hey, there is a possibility of more locations.
Here's what you do. Instead of that, you make the Paladin location give, 2 friendly minions to Divine Shield.
Oh, instead of 3/3?
Yeah, you just do, 2 mana, 3 charges, give 2 friendly minions to Divine Shield. 2 random friendly minions to Divine Shield.
I feel like that'd be really good. That'd be really good to give any minion Divine Shield.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it would be any if you have just 2 minions on the field. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
No, that'd be cool.
And
they're not gonna
locations.
do it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And locations are going to see there's going to be more of them printed in the future, right? So that could be a real thing that gets printed in the future.
I don't know.
Nobody knows, I think.
Locations are cool. I want more of them, but I don't know if it will be printed.
I think there will be. I might be wrong on this, but I remember hearing conversation around the card that destroys locations where it's like, oh, this is so bad. Why would you make this? There's something going to be more locations. I remember hearing about, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway, I'll let you guys go to wrap up the stream, and hopefully next week will be a bit better. I'll actually play
Maybe.
off this time.
Hey man, America's won. Everything is all good for me. I'm a happy camper. Good job, gamer.
Americas.
Nah, gamer, you're in the MTOG. You're European now. You're being colonized. Okay, that's the hidden part of the contract.
That's exactly why we broke away from you guys.
That's why Europe's always good. They just take the
You just steal
good American
everyone
players.
now.
Third of them now, so there's no good American players. Yeah, that's actually genius. So
I mean, we got Monsanto the other week, so it's working.
Didn't Dead Draw live in America at one point and now lives in the UK?
Yep.
There you go. There's your example. They took Dead Draw from us. All right, Mateo. I think
I am ready as well.
we'll
Thank you very much, GamerRvg and Paraducks for joining us. And I wish you best of luck in the Max 6 and in other competition you will face.
Yeah.
See
Take care,
you.
guys.
See you soon,
See you
maybe.
later. Bye.
Have a good one.
Alright, so we are done with that post-match interview. So what will be next on the Max Team TV? So next week you will have on Tuesday Dravo against Bruto and Max against Dimitri Kasov, casted by Cool Kid. Then on Wednesday you will have NoHandsGamer. Oh, sorry. That's this week schedule. So okay, the next stream will be tomorrow on Thursday. It will be also handled by me. It will be Fled against Rigvam and Pasqua against Dead Draw. Sorry. So be sure to be here tomorrow for the another cast of the Max League 6. And on next week, same days, we'll have the second round of the Max League, so I hope we will see each other there. Thank you very much, Clark, for being here with me tonight. It was a pleasure to cast with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always fun. I love Hearthstone.
And I hope everyone in the chat spent a very nice evening. So I will be happy to see you as soon as possible. Thank you very much, and good night.